And there we go.
Not this shit again. Not this shit again.
Yes,
Okay.
this shit again.
So last time we left off, fucking Lance threw a hissy fit, got his note taken away, had to negotiate with Chartreuse, a dream speaker, techno shaman, that raked him over the coals until Nathan traded her a fucking Pokemon card. Then talked to Celestial Courser, whose name I do not remember. I know I've got a list of different NPCs. I do not remember which one you talked to. Fuck. Who I believe just took cash as a payment.
Yep.
Maybe some. Yeah, cash.
Cash and perhaps a little bit of experimentation.
Yeah. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, I remember that shit. I still don't remember the fucker's name. Anyways. And now Lance is going off to help him with some bullshit. Mostly messing with tasks and Prime and whatnot. Working a little with correspondence because Lance is pretty good at that, I think. I don't actually remember what dots Lance has and what spheres. Fish and Zachary have still been allowed to continue their studies, but noticeably have been kept an eye on. Whenever there's a higher level or a higher ranking mage in the vicinity, they always seem to keep an eye on them. Not like they're spying on them, but more like they're babysitting them. Nathan, however, has had complete and total free reign, as people have kind of seemed forgotten that he's part of their fucking cabal.
Sweet.
That's not sweet. That's shit.
What are you talking about? It means I'm not being fucking babysat.
I will go out of my way to remind people that you are part of our group. I will print us matching t-shirts.
Why, hello there, Nathan, my cabal mate.
Nathan,
how was our last, or did you have fun the last time we met as a cabal? Because you are part of it.
You know the
Fucking
cabal we're
Nathan,
both
dude.
part of, friend Nathan?
Nathan doing the hand shieldy face thing.
So the following day, Nathan will actually receive a letter at whatever apartment that he's staying at. I don't remember exactly where Nathan was staying.
Me neither. Oh well. Nathan's
He will
gonna.
receive.
Yes.
You will receive a letter from Isaiah Gruber.
Oh shit! Who the fuck was that again?
Your mentor.
Right. Pick it up immediately, obviously. What? Nathan's memory is better than mine. Shut up.
I just love that reaction. That should totally be in character. Andreas Gruber.
No, that would be a Bob kind of thing, because he would have drunk his remaining brains. I miss Bob.
Me too. We should bring him back as an undead.
I agree.
Or a cyber.
I'm working on the technology.
Yes.
If we ever play Wraith, and by that I mean if one of you fuckers run Wraith, I'm sure we can have Luke come back.
Yay!
Oh dear.
It's a
However, he would be in the worst game setting imaginable because Wraith is terrible.
Let's not play Wraith.
Wraith should come with its own razor blades included. Anyways.
Anywho.
It's sad.
Anywho.
It's all
Anyways.
sad. It's super sad.
It is a letter from Isaiah Gruber, his mentor.
He picks it up immediately and opens it, obviously.
It is a typical letter addressing a few trivialities, a few notes on his travels, and also letting Nathan know that he will be arriving in Portland in about 3 days for a small bit of business, and he would like to see. And he would, in fact, like to talk to his former apprentice.
Oh God! Oh God!
This is small visitation.
Oh God!
Why?
Because Nathan immediately panics like he always does when he has to have people over or something. Starts cleaning before he eats breakfast because he's anxious.
And notes that he'll be arriving. It gives you a date. I don't feel like deciding an exact date right now, but it is 2 days from now.
Okay. Yep. Nathan looks around, goes, "Yeah, I can manage to remodule my entire life in 2 days." And starts cleaning.
Can't let people know we sit.
Yep. That's Nathan right there.
It
What a
lists.
nice, what a nice apartment.
Nathan
Thanks.
finds,
I own stuff, but I've hidden them.
it asks Nathan to think of a good restaurant so the two can talk over dinner. You'll
Right.
have a free evening to speak with Nathan.
Nathan momentarily considers that one real good place that they all went to spy on Zachary, but then he perishes the thought because that shit expensive.
Why would you spy on
And
me?
also it is for romantic couples.
Yeah, that's that too.
And I doubt Nathan is slipping the pole to a 50-year-old man.
Don't judge.
He's not.
Also, I don't think I'm
Surprised.
50.
I'm not talking about you. We're talking about his mentor.
Oh, okay. Because he said Zachary.
So,
Nathan starts cleaning frantically and starts picking out the best restaurant he can find that's actually affordable and not for couples.
oh yeah, there's a number of different restaurants. I'm sure Nathan has eaten at a few and picks out and will like choose his favorite one.
McDonald's, Burger
Yeah.
King, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, all affordable.
Yeah.
He looks at his regular places and and obviously worries whether they are good enough.
Why, this McDonald's has 4 stars out of 10. Mm.
It's better than your average.
It probably is. That's awful.
Yeah. So you'll have about 2 days before people show up. Is anyone going to do anything exceptional in those 2 days before we have our next scene? It also includes the rest of the bucks.
I will continue to or wait, has Dr. Gailey given me or has he put a good word in for cybernetics research for me?
He has, although a few of the professors that would normally take you in have become a little more, shall we say, hesitant
Bitchy.
due to your somewhat black marks on your permanent record, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. The things that happened.
Yes.
The things.
Translated, it means that a lot of the professors in that area, or the ones that are actually worth teaching you anything, or worth learning from in general, really, aren't really wanting to put their mushroom stamp on your fucking permanent record because you are currently way too politically hot for them.
Ah, heck.
Since you're
You know
not even
what?
a member of the Chantry.
We should team up and run for office.
Or not a member of what?
The Chantry.
Since how not only not a member of the Chantry, you were a recently removed member of the Chantry in a very dramatic manner.
It's all very dramatic.
Oh yeah, shit, we were kinda
We got yelled at.
You got expelled.
yeah.
And there's a lot of professors who aren't willing to dip their toes into that pool.
Well,
Especially since the kind of professors that would research cybernetics are more of the eccentrics, shall we say, and not really big, and really don't have the political clout to step into that kind of arena, as they are not really portions of any large sects. or organizations within the Sons of Ether,
Hmm.
as they're mostly of the dissident flavor, like the political faction, the dissidents.
Yeah. I remember. Or how the Sons of Aether are, how they operate politically.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also a large number of professors in the area are relatively transient. While they're one thing that you do find while searching through the various rosters of Sons of Ethers is that really only about 4 or 5 uh, Etherites actually are permanent residents of the Chantry, or permanent members. A lot of mages do end up passing through this area, so you begin to realize that the population of the Chantry is smaller than you would think. The number of mages that you see in here.
Huh. Interesting.
Would have known.
Most of it is transient population. That being said, it's hard to talk to people about the reasons why. Because nobody wants to talk to you. I wonder why.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Big mystery there.
Yeah. It really makes you think.
Anyway,
Gotta ask those big picture questions.
so we have 2 days before the next scene.
Pretty much.
Okay, Sawyer will use those 2 days to how do I say, essentially suck up to the rest of the Chantry. By
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I just switched headsets.
he's gonna suck up to the rest of the Chantry.
Oh, a wise decision.
Yeah, with like gift baskets basically, full of, well, quite expensive shit, like, wine, cheeses, bread,
Gi-
wheat,
Gift baskets.
more.
Yeah, he's gonna buy friendship.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Gift
falling
baskets.
he is falling back. He's falling back on what he knows, and that is suck up to the elite of the city with expensive gifts. With of course, there will be like cards on them just for no reason whatsoever. I felt like giving you this basket and something like more eloquent, of course. Like in a blatantly obvious attempt to get back on their good sides.
For no particular reason, have this really expensive cheese. Love me, please.
No, actually, he would probably okay. For the people who were friends of Jordan,
Picnic baskets.
for the people who were friends of Jordan and like actual Cabal members, he would do like a proper like, my condolences. Here, have this small
Jordan's
token.
quote unquote cabal members were the heads of the other traditions.
Well, that turns out nicely then. No, he will do that. He will give them like condolences and like, well, expensive gift baskets basically, because that's how he was brought up. When you want to show your condolences, you give them something nice. There's
All
a
right.
word for that, but I don't remember it right now.
Fair. So the one that you send to, so the one that'll end up going to Painted Horse will be returned.
Oh.
The one that you send to Michael, the head of the Virtual Adepts, will come back. Will wind up at your front door on fire.
Ha! Nice.
That's not nice.
You will have no word from anybody else but Father Timothy, the head of the Celestial Chorus, and Tian Huan. From Tian Huan, you'll have a little origami swan sent back to you.
Okay.
Aw.
And Father Timothy will write a card that says thank you.
Okay. That's basically all I wanted. I guess Tewksbury will not say a single word.
No.
But he will keep the fucking gift basket, of course.
Oh, yes, he keeps the gift basket.
Of course, it's expensive and there's like cheese in it. He loves cheese, I think. Probably. He's an old man. They love cheese.
More of a wine guy, but cheese works.
There's also expensive wine in there.
No, that works, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's okay. As long as they... I mean, it's a bit... bit of a giant dick move to send back the gift basket on fire, I gotta say. I mean, I didn't do anything to this guy. Like, whatever. What a dick bag. So yeah, that's what I do with my 2 days. Just trying to be a nice person, granted for selfish reasons, but also because I'm kind of trying to feel empathetic.
Trying as hard as he can.
I mean,
Meanwhile, Nathan is definitely going to tell his cabal mates that he's having important company over. Also, he kind of looks like he hasn't slept in a few days.
Serious
been-
business.
Oh yeah, it's been a few hours since he got the letter, and he already looks like he hasn't slept for a week. So he tells them that he's going to have important company over, and if they should meet this important company, they need to be on their best behavior.
wait, who are you telling this to?
Everyone in the cabal.
Uh, Sawyer will think for a moment and go, why, I'd be delighted to meet this person. I have nothing else to do. Let me prepare a gift basket for him.
Oh my fucking god.
Well, I got one
I
back,
know
didn't
you.
I?
Nathan being like, I know you would. Don't count on it.
Wait. I'm gonna roll a d2 here. I'm gonna toss a coin. I will forget to take the condolences card out of it.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
So it's still
What
it's
a
still-
fucking champion!
it's still addressed to oh fuck, who got it back? Painted Horse?
Yes, Painted Horse is the one who sent it back.
Yeah, it's still addressed to Painted Horse with my sincere apologies for your loss.
What a fucking champion!
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look, it was a stressful few days.
What a fucking hero!
Just
You fucking asshole.
goddamn amazing.
Look, it's funny. I'm willing to make my character into a
is.
bit of an idiot.
No,
for
it
the
is
sake of
funny.
role-playing.
But wow.
Yeah, no. Anyway, yeah, I'm totally in. I have nothing else to do. I'm totally willing to meet like Nathan's mentor. Find out what made him the way he is.
Well, so far he hasn't really managed to, do the whole personality thing an awful lot, so it'll be fun to at least see where that all got drained out.
That mentor of you must be a party animal.
Please, don't call him that.
I know I didn't say that in character.
I know, but still.
Or did I?
So, Chicken, I have a question. Did
Yeah.
you ever actually take the time and consider like any changes you want to make to your character? Because you always kept dodging me.
Trust me, I did not keep dodging you, I just kept forgetting. Also, no.
All right. I was mostly wondering because it sounded like you wanted to play a different house.
I do
Which is
kind of want
fine.
to play a different house, yeah.
Because you could even do that in character because Hermetics changing houses isn't that big of a deal actually. It's just kind of like changing departments in a corporation.
Cool. That
I mean,
actually
there's
sounds rather
a
nice.
significance to it, but each
with-
house really handles a specific level of work in the Hermetics.
But there might be a bit more drama involved than you just going, I shall go into accounting. Don't try and stop me.
It requires having some kind of sponsor and a request form to the individuals who lead the chantry. Or it requires a request form from a request put into both the leadership of your current house and the leadership of the house you wish to join.
Yeah.
Unless you're particularly politically hot or known to be entirely and thoroughly incompetent, you're given a fair evaluation. And if your skills are seen to be more useful in that other house, then you're good to go.
Okay, cool. And hey, at least I'm neither right now. That's one of the only people.
Yeah, I know you wanted to lean less into crafts and move some dots around to other things.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to be a little more. What's that word? I want to say interesting, but that's a really, really wide. God damn it.
Wow.
I know. Yeah. I wanted to be focused less on crafting and more on like secrets and finding stuff out and investigating.
Oh,
So you'll okay. I'm gonna pause the game for just a little bit here.
Okay.
First, you want to change your attributes. Actually, have a decent social stack.
Yep.
You might even want to move your primaries into social.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
And then do divination shit.
And did you ever take the time to read the Order of Hermes book, or at least skim through it?
You know how I feel about that particular book.
Um,
Last time I tried, it nearly killed my brain.
did you at least read the wiki page?
No, I kind of just gave up.
Okay. So, all right. So let's just we'll handle your sheet stuff later.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you at least know what the houses are?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I know what they are. I just don't know, the different ones.
Okay, so there's House Bonasagus, founded by Lord Bonasagus. Their specialization is magical theory and research. There is House Bonasagus is essentially the House of Nerds.
So far,
House
that's appealing.
Flambeau is the House of War Mages, aka blowing shit up.
I mean, appealing, but not to Nathan.
There's House Fortunae. Their specialization is numerology, and they tend to lead more heavily into the realms of mortal influence, wealth, and acquisition of resources. They are also, by the way, House Bonasagus tends to also have a special. So, just so you know, all of the Order of Hermes has forces as their primary sphere.
Okay.
That being said, each house also tends to be relatively talented with another sphere. House Bonasagus is prime. Flambeau is just forces all day long with more forces and a bit more forces.
Okay.
They also tend to have a few their membership is mostly comprised of a difference between like straight up fucking knee breakers, like dudes who walk in your house and beat you half to death with a baseball bat, and like nuclear physicists.
how magical.
Okay.
Yes,
Neat.
fucking magical. A baseball bat to the kneecaps.
Nothing more magical.
House Fortunae seems to be comprised of mostly mathematicians, economists, also a lot of just like people who try to predict fate with mathematics. They're very big into the whole sacred geometry and numerology thing. There is House Quasitori, whose speciality isn't a certain kind of magic, but rather a role within the. So instead of a specific form of magic, they just tend to take what other houses research.
Okay.
They're basically the police of the Order of Hermes.
Cool.
They run tribunals, they perform arrests, and they generally arrange to make sure that things aren't fucked up.
Cool.
There is House Shea, which is a mostly female house, although there is male members of it. They have a combination of a sort of pseudo worship of a deity, and also specialize in working with true names.
Okay.
There is House Solificati, which are the alchemists. By the way, House Fortunae specialized in fucking. I think it was entropy, quasitori, secondary specialization in mind. House Shea, I think it was like entropy or prime. They're weird.
Okay.
Solificati is matter. They used to be former members of a separate tradition called the Solificati before being asked to join into the Order of Hermes as their own great house. Like I said before, their specialization is alchemy. There is House Titalis, which are the war leaders and generals. they're very big into like the iron will, Spartan upbringing and very brutal raising of their acolytes. It is said that only 1 in 3 survive training with the Titalis.
Jeez.
Well, shit.
They are hard bitches. I believe their secondary specialization is either life or mind. I don't quite remember. Keep in mind that these specializations are just flavor and you don't have to follow shit.
Cool.
Then there is House Verdidius, which is a combination of the old minor House Verdidius and the old high house of Tig. Tig was a bunch of like sort of pseudo hermetic technomancers. Well, there were pseudo technomancers with hermetic flavor, and Verdidius was like old style enchanters and like creator of magic swords and shit.
Cool.
And then there was House X Miscellanea, which are essentially minor houses.
Gotcha.
They break down into House Siramun, which are weird. House Honglei, which is basically like Chinese alchemy and ritualistic magic. House Gerbadon, which is like a shittier version of House Fortunae. House Marinitas, which concern themselves with fairies and are therefore completely unimportant. House Ngoma, I can never pronounce that right. House Ngoma, which are basically like African ritualists. They're
Cool.
pretty cool. There's House Scopos, which are just another shitty minor house of House Fortunae, and House Zhao, which was the sort of post-anarchist leaning members of House Tig that didn't want to join in with the big merger and are also useless.
Okay.
So what would be the most like inquisitive thing that you could join?
So far, it seems like that one, the first one that started with a B.
House
Or-
Bonasagas,
Bonasagas, that's
Yeah,
the same
were
one
those
I'm part
the
of.
sacred geometry guys?
House Fortunae.
Yeah, because they like tell the future and shit. That might be kind of neat.
Yes, they are primarily focused in entropy as their second sphere. They are composed of both like crazy mathematicians and also other crazy stuff. That being said, all of them can be equally interesting and welcome a large number of different members.
Neat.
You could also be like House Titalis if you want to be a hard motherfucker.
It sounds fun, but I don't think that's Nathan.
If I would not recommend House Shay because you are adverse to reading.
Yeah.
And they're a really interesting and complex house and really cool. You could be House Flambeau. What do you do for a living? I blow shit up in more interesting ways.
I mean, it sounds awesome. I would like to do that as another character, but Nathan does not blow shit up.
Fair. Let's see.
Nathan
House
is the
Titalis.
nerd
They're real
Nathan is-
big on like the Enlightened Will and shit. House
but Nathan-
Janissary used to be a thing, but
You
They
talk
got
over
to-
each other.
Thank you. Nathan is the nerd. He does nerdy stuff. He doesn't blow shit up. He nerds.
that's a lot of our Order of Hermes.
Yep.
So I'm leaning towards Panasagus, Fortunae, Sulficati, and Titalis, possibly Quasitori.
So far, to me, it sounds like Bonasagus is going to be the one that would appeal most to Nathan.
It's the one I'm in.
Yeah. And as such, it would make even more sense for Nathan to have been the one to be called into this entire thing.
What a nerd!
Absolutely.
So Bonasagus is one of the more loosely organized houses, although the oldest house in all of the traditions. They tend to prefer more secluded places for practicing their arts. That being said, they still have a lot. They still are very much like a old boys club, so to speak. They also hold the largest number of masters in the Order of Hermes amongst their ranks because most of them were fucked off into other corners of the world. while the rest of the houses typically had their masters die or some shit.
Poor houses.
There's also House Fortune, which is essentially Masters of Fortune and Chance.
Neat.
But if you want to go with Bonasaga, sure, that works.
I mean, it's the one that sounds most like Nathan.
Yep.
What can I say?
Write down House Bonasagas.
I'll be right back.
My sheet. Okay.
Careful, don't die.
You can't tell me what to do.
I kinda can.
Okay, so I used to be Verdicious, now I'm Bonasagas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
So you're a huge
So-
nerd.
So how do you spell that anyway?
Nerd.
It's actually kind of spelled phonetically. Boni
I.
Yes, Boni.
Okay.
Sagus. Bonasagas. It's Greek.
Yep.
It's Greek for literally good scholar.
Perfect.
It's named after Lord Bonasagas. Because fuck you. He'll name his shit whatever he wants. Disappeared in the 12th century. Nobody knows if he died or just slipped into quiet. Anyways.
Anyway, I'm thinking I should probably move a few attributes around. Like, I've got 3 dots in stamina, but 2 in charisma. I think I should definitely have 3 in charisma and 2 in stamina.
Remember that you pick your attributes based off of their category.
Right.
So right now you have mentals as your primary, physicals as your secondary, and socials as your tertiary.
Yeah, I should switch social and physical.
All right, so that means social would have 3 dots to assign, and social would have 5 dots to assign.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. I know you wanted to change around your skills, primarily move a bit of crafts around.
Yes, please.
So
Instant into research, maybe stealth.
sure. Fuck. Did you write down your experience expenditures? How much XP have you spent?
I think I just spent those 3 that I wrote down.
Okay. So, fuck.
Oh wait, and I mean I bought Arite, that's about it.
Really don't have time to audit your sheet.
Nah.
Fuck it. We'll come back to the rest of that later.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yay.
Happy birthday. Your sheet's slightly fixed.
Yay.
Shit's less fucked, so I mean that's always good.
All right. Bam. So your mentor, your Potter, was a member of House Bonasagas as well, since it is relatively normal tradition for it's relatively common for an apprentice to enter the same house as his master.
Yep.
So what are you guys going to be doing? Is there anything else you wanted to attempt during those 2 days?
I'm gonna attempt to make sure nothing's gonna go wrong. I don't know, my brain's a little bit dead, I'm sorry.
Do you guys want to like start later or something? Or start earlier in the future?
I mean, we will be starting earlier in, like, I don't know how long, because, you know, us Europeans are going to be catching up to you Americans on daylight savings.
Yeah, and we did kind of start a bit later today.
Yeah, because, you know, dinner. It was also a big dinner. That might have something to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Full fucking 3-course meal because guests.
So, anyways, yeah. So you're gonna make sure nothing goes. Well, you don't really have to prepare for a whole lot since Zephy isn't here to fuck everything up.
Is
Yeah,
true.
yeah. I
How long
mean,
did Hoon say he'd be gone?
I don't know.
I think he only said a minute or so.
Yeah,
I think he died.
he might have.
Yeah.
Hoon probably died.
Thing
Yeah.
is,
It's like
Fish can't really do one of the things that he's really
Back.
been wanting to do,
Oh,
Hello.
hey.
There he is. He's not dead.
which is, Fish is like not completely stupid. So he knows that he really shouldn't go over to that one warehouse that he has Sam's half mangled corpse in,
Yeah.
because that would be a few more questions to the like 5 people that would follow him there. And he doesn't really feel like answering those questions right now.
So one should note that you've never been physically followed. That being said, you live in a house full of wizards.
Yeah, I am. Okay, follow may not be the right term. Scrying might be a better word.
Watched.
Yeah. Bugged.
Because some of the people that may be watching you aren't weird fucking superstitious wizards. They're right proper scientists. Right, scientists.
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 Spying on you with proper surveillance gear.
Yeah.
That's not scrying, that's crazy. What kind of magic bullshit is that?
Well,
Yeah. Weird.
what did I miss?
Nothing. We've changed a few things to Chicken's sheet. I don't know what was and wasn't bought, so I don't feel like
Alright.
auditing it at the time. So what are you going to be doing anything during those 2 days of particular note?
Well, who, me?
No, Hund.
Okay.
Well, no, just the that gift basket thing that probably takes me a while because I'm actually going outside to buy that wine and the cheese and stuff. Like it's handpicked. Sparing no expense. Also, I just want to get out of the house. Because, you know. So that's what I'm doing the entire 2 days. And like in the meantime, I'm practicing my sign language. Because I'm still learning that.
Sign language.
Well, yeah, for my, like, the roads and stuff, remember?
Yeah. So yeah, the next 2 days will pass. And during that time, Nathan will eventually hear a knock on his door.
Oh,
Assuming
God.
that he's waiting at the chantry.
Yeah, I want to say yeah. Nathan panics, as Nathan is wont to do. He goes and opens the door. He's made sure that everything is spick and span and clean as can be and all that good shit.
And in the doorway stands a boot to the head. No. Whap! Anyways, no, it is Isaiah Gruber. Isaiah is a shorter man of Austrian descent. He is in his late 50s and a weasel-faced man, scrunched features, thinning hair with a comb over on the top, obviously trying to hide the fact that he is going bald. Otherwise has longer hair, somewhat greasy, and that could be kind of said for his general appearance. Ever slow, slightly greasy.
Ever slow, slightly greasy.
Ever so slightly greasy.
Yeah.
He has a sly grin, somewhat greasy hair. His clothes, while probably some kind of expensive, are kind of a cheap kind of expensive, a little sleazy. Nathan knows that Isaiah Gruber also goes by another name amongst his contemporaries and peers, Isaiah the Rat. Not because he is a snitch of any kind, but he has a habit of jumping ship whenever they're in a losing battle.
So he's
Not
smart.
yes. Very often in more in political conflicts, he tends to go to the side that is most likely to win. He's only really tolerated because of this, because he's seen as a good omen when he shows up at your door asking to defect to your side.
Oh my god, he's Nobby Knobs.
A little bit, yes.
Isn't that great?
It is.
Hmm.
Well, Nathan greets him with a big smile, obviously, and fucking short of bowing, except he knows that, probably fucking shouldn't do that.
Hello, Nathan. How are you?
I say, it's been so long, far too long. I'm doing quite well. Please do come in.
May I have a seat somewhere?
Of course, of course. Nathan shows him
Lovely.
to-
He
Nathan
totters
shows him
on
to-
in. His back is bent with age and also very little exercise in his life, and he waddles over with a cane.
Nathan shows him to the best chair, like the good chair.
The good chair.
The only chair.
Yeah.
The others having been
Can't
hidden.
people know we sit.
Yeah.
Lovely. So I'm sure you've already picked out a place for us to eat, yes?
Oh yes, of course. I've picked this insert really good restaurant here because the player is really lazy and can't find something out right now, brain dead. And it's going to be splendid.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. I'm sure we could leave rather soon, should we? I've got a bit of grumblies in my tumblies, after all.
Oh my god. Oh, it'd be no problem at all.
Wonderful.
I had a feeling you might be hungry after your long travel, so I booked us a rather early time.
Excellent.
So how are things going with you?
Absolutely lovely. Come with me. We're going to go sit in the car. I brought a friend along. I don't want to keep him waiting.
Very well then.
Not suspicious at all.
Always eager to meet new people, as you know.
Yes. I've heard you've been encountering some issues in your own personal domicile. Is that true, young Nathan?
Which issues?
Especially with the company you've been keeping. Tut tut.
Unfortunately, I can't really account for exactly what my company, so to speak, has been doing whilst I've had my back turned. Needless
But
to
you
say-
should be paying attention to whose company you're keeping.
Oh,
Tut
indeed.
tut. He taps you on the chest twice with his cane, with the head of his
And
cane.
on the inside, Nathan is like, I'm sorry, I was settled with them, okay?
That being said, this better be an Italian place. I could go for some Alfredo right now. Chicken Alfredo. Yes.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. And trust me, if it wasn't, it would be now.
Lovely. You eventually will walk his lazy ass, his fat, old, overweight ass to the car, where there is another gentleman. It is a nicer car. I don't know much about cars, but it's a nice one. It costs a lot of money. It's a bit gaudy.
Yay, nice cars.
It's a bit it's a bit too showy to the point of being gaudy. One of the things that Master Gruber was never really good at was fashion.
Is that outside the chantry?
Yes. In the driver's seat is a man in his early 30s. He has short cropped blonde hair, what appears to be the beginnings of a beard, although this seems to be more from a lack of shaving rather than specific personal grooming. Something about him has kind of disgruntled every man about him. He is wearing business casual kind of clothing, a pair of jeans, nice pressed jeans, and a button-down shirt with a tie. Although you're pretty sure it's a clip-on tie rather than a proper one.
Fucking beautiful.
Where are we going?
Oh, we're going to this and this place.
Awesome. He gets out of the car and opens the door for Isaiah. Does not do the same for Nathan.
Nathan didn't expect him to anyway. Nathan's fine. Nathan's okay.
Now this young man is older than you, Nathan. He points to the driver who's older than Nathan. This is Oh shit! I don't remember his name. What was your name, boy?
All in character.
My name's Jason Bartleby. You've asked that 5 times this trip, sir. Yes, Jason. He's a failed apprentice. Jason winces a little bit at that.
Oof.
Got downgraded to consort because he could never figure out the whole proper magic thing.
Nathan has a deep-seated sympathy and pity for this poor fellow.
That being said, he'll be driving us around. Don't let his lack of proper awareness fool you, though. He's rather perceptive in other things. Yes. Now, use the weird GPS phone thing and punch it in for poor Jason. I'm surprised the man remembers to breathe. I know how to use it. I'm surprised the man even remembers to blink. Fucking wizards.
Nathan gives the man whose name I already forgot a very sympathetic look.
His name is Jason.
Jason, gotcha.
Jason Bartleby.
Jason Buttleby. Nathan gives Jason Buttleby a sympathetic and apologetic look.
He does not respond. He looks like a man who is done with life.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't
he
blame
will
him.
Understandable.
he will drive you to wherever you're going.
Yay.
Once again, get out. Open the door for Mr. Gruber, and begin walking. And we'll help him walk Mr. Gruber into the restaurant. Wherever you're going, it's not the fanciest place because it's within Nathan's shoestring budget.
It's not really shoestring budget, but you know, it's not the fanciest place. It's still.
How local! I love it. Lovely.
Well, when you know what they say, when in Rome.
Yes. Come along, Jason. Give me a hand. Yes, sir. There is obviously some part of Jason that makes him wonder if he can just kind of like drop him right there and then.
There's a very big part of Nathan that sympathizes because who wants to be treated like that, honestly?
And you'll be seated.
Yay.
And between drinks and wine and fine Italian dinners, conversation will take place. So, how have things been, my young boy?
It's a bit stressful, but I can never complain. You know me. After all, I work best under stress.
No, you really don't. So, how did you end up with your particular company?
Well, as a matter of fact, it was who I was sent to help, as it were.
Really?
Indeed, the little group which had problems. Evidently, that was the first sign that it might not have been such a good idea to come, but one does what one
So, you
must.
mean you were told to join a cabal?
Indeed.
Really? By whom?
Fuck, it was Tewksbury, right?
Yes.
By Professor Tewksbury.
Both Jason and Isaiah raise an eyebrow. Really?
Really?
That's strange. Normally Tewksbury doesn't order people around like that.
Excuse me.
And normally people don't command, even masters don't command people to join. Mages, no less, to join other cabals. Strange how he's treating it as such a formal organization. Although he's always an odd duck. Always big on unity and working together, and also a huge prick. It's an absolute ginormous penis, really.
Well, far be it from me to badmouth any of my superiors, but
Isaiah looks off in a random direction and holds up a middle finger. Goes back to eating. Jason just looks confused.
Nathan decides to not press the issue. He has a feeling he knows what that was all about.
So how is your current situation? Have you been eating well? It's always good to eat well.
Oh,
Not
yes.
after last time. I'm not your
Don't
mother,
worry.
Nathan.
Don't worry, I have been eating well. I've not been starving myself, at least. This isn't my dissertation all over again.
I don't know what you keep calling your dissertation. I never put you in through fucking classes.
Huh?
Too much of a fucking nerd, really. Did
Well,
I ever
no.
tell you about my glory days when I was still a member of the House Quasitory? For the record, you've been told a million times about his glory days in the House Quasitory.
Oh, I could never get tired of that story.
Yes. Lovely. I remember one time I was in the jungles of Kuwait hunting down evil members of the Fundus. Sir, I think you had a thing you want to talk about before you get distracted again with your marvelous stories. Oh, yes. Thank you, Jason. Like I said, a perceptive individual then. Yes. So, I would be remiss, you see, if I just left you out to dry, so to speak. I sent you here to learn, and now Tewksbury has you off doing bullshit, really. He looks at the same exact spot, gives a middle finger to it again. Yes. I had no intention for you to get mixed up in his personal little pet charade with whatever cock cozies he has this time. But I've decided, in my infinite grace and wisdom, that I would give you a helping hand. I mean, not personally, I'm a very important person. I have very important personal things to do. That being said, I got someone, I got a thing, well, rather person, I think you'd call them, to help you. And he's not even brown. It's nothing like Imperial London or Imperial England nowadays. You don't even need a brown person to do your bitch work for you. It doesn't have to be Irish. In fact, I got a good Englishman, Jason over here, to be signed over as your consort. Jason coughs as you watch him inhale about like what seems to be like a half pound of linguini. I'm doing what? Oh, like I said, you're going to be working as a consort for Mr. Paul here, my wonderful apprentice, who is obviously far more successful in his training than you are. Hopefully, a little bit of it rubs off on you. But I had a job at a different chantry. I don't do field work. What do you mean you don't do things? You're a consort. Doing things that nobody else wants to do is your job. Be quiet while I sign papers to have you signed over.
Nathan gives a small panicked look to this poor man. Jason. What's his name?
Yes, sir. Defeat crosses across his face after he wipes a little bit of linguini and marinara sauce off of his cheek. The sadness linguini.
The linguini of
IRL.
sadness.
Linguini of sadness. this.
I hope that's the title of this episode.
Well, it will be. Well, it is now.
Yes. Now, as it turns out, I've always been aware that you are politically entirely incompetent, Paul. Don't mind, that's why I never sent you a chantry before. You're terrible people.
Well, unfortunately, I have to agree with you there.
So I have procured a kind of advisor, really. That or a tea maker, whatever, however you want Jason to help you. Jason makes a very sterling cup of tea. So hopefully he can give you a little advice to make you, drag you out of your ditch, so to speak, or at least make your new companions less useless. You know how it is.
I do know how it is. This does sound like it would be a
I,
very big
I,
help.
I had intended for you to find a nice, wonderful ball full of hermetics. So, while Tewksbury is a bit of a cockswiggler, he could at least have set you up with a proper cabal. But unfortunately, he seems to have muddled you with some riffraff. Hasn't even assigned you a consul yet himself. The prude.
Uh,
So I, in my infinite humility and
Benevolence.
not gratitude. Fuck, what was the word?
Benevolence.
Charity. In my infinite charitableness, decided to step in where the head of your own chantry has not. Began assigning you a few resources.
Well, I'm not entirely certain what to say, sir, except thank you very much. He gives a small, panicked look to Jason.
Jason's just staring defeatedly at his linguini. There went his day job, or there went his easy job and his vacation.
Yep.
Yes, it's actually quite wonderful. Now you don't need brown people to do your bitch work for you. Isn't it lovely? Hey, Jason? He begins kind of nudging him with his elbow. Jason just kind of like sadly limps his shoulders up when he's nudged.
You know, at times I felt kind of bad for having Tewksbury as a mentor, but I feel much better about it now.
I know, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
could always be
hopefully
worse.
your natural superiority as a hermetic will page through to the lesser beings of your cabal. And the less trained members of the order, such as those by Tewksbury, he again looks at the same exact spot, gives the finger to the same exact spot, turns back around. And your natural talent that has been beaten into you and properly educated by the wonderful sterling enlightened will of one Isaiah Gruber shall shine through. Isn't that right, my boy?
Oh yes, absolutely. 100% correct.
Yes. If you don't mind, I'm going to tuck a bit more into my noodles. I think they're growing colder.
Oh, please do, sir.
How do you like Isaiah?
I love and hate him all at the same time.
And he's your
He's
mentor
perfect.
now.
Yes.
Suck it
Yes,
back.
he is.
His glory days in House Quasitori, it actually used to be in House Janissary, but they kind of got broken up after the whole like being addicted to vampire blood scandal, and he changed the story a little bit.
Ah.
He is Nobby Knobs.
Oh,
Love
that's
it.
great.
He's the guy you watch. Like you know which army is winning by what uniform the guy's wearing. It's him.
It's perfect.
Except he's slightly more posh. slightly more of an asshole.
Only
Little bit older.
slightly, though.
So he's a bad Nobby Knobs.
A bit, yes, he's a wizard.
Oh,
Bad
God.
Nobby. Bad. Bad
Yeah.
Nobby!
To be fair, Nobby Knobs as a wizard, yeah, that would be that.
A fat geriatric man who likes to think that who says that he's from the one glory days of England, the Victorian ages, when actually he was born in 1952 in northern Maine.
That does sound like a Discworld wizard, yeah.
It does.
That's also why his British accent is so shit. He's basically a wizard who plateaued in high school, except high school was working for the wizard secret police.
Eh?
Turned out the wizard secret police had an addiction to devil meth, and then he just went to the normal police, or the FBI in this case.
Yep. Checks out.
I will be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. By the way, chicken,
Yeah.
you'll want to write down on your sheet retainers at 1 dot. Jason Bartleby.
Okay. Where we got it? Where do we got retainers?
It's a background.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to put it in yourself. Whew.
There we go. Oop. Perfect.
I am back.
Hello.
Yay!
Jason Bartleby, consort.
Yep.
Yeah, he seems like a terrible person.
Jason?
Yeah.
Eh,
He just seems like he's a very, very put upon and henpicked guy.
so, by the way, my good boy,
Yes.
one of these days, an old friend of mine will be coming through. A man named Manuel Salazar, an exquisite individual from my old glory days as a member of House Quasitori. He'll be coming to speak to you one of these days.
I see.
He's very
Well-
interested in your progress.
Well, I'll be looking forward to making his acquaintance, sir.
Oh, he is a wonderful and randy lad.
A
I'm
bit too
sure
much
you'll get
information,
along
this.
quite well. The old version of Randy, not the weird sex-obsessed thing boys have nowadays. Fucking weirdos. Everything's fucking sex and dicks and butts. And, oh, it's terrible.
Everything is sex and violence these days, sir.
Terrible. Ugh.
Absolutely.
Remember the more civilized time.
Yes, when you could have black people do your things for you. Evidently.
Better yet, brown people. Black people were so easy to buy back then. And then eventually they became legal, like good Christians, because unlike filthy Catholics and the filthy Americans, we actually remembered that slavery was a terrible thing. So we just got brown people to do our work for us.
Oh yes. A decided improvement.
Yes, quite. They knew how to read.
Which is
And-
something everyone should need in someone who does
yes.
their stuff for them.
And they had funny little bandage hats, and they made excellent soldiers, the Sikhs. And they even know how to brew tea, unlike the Africans.
Quite.
Lovely folk, brown folks. There was a
And
quite
this
a lot
week-
of them.
And this week, Nathan gets increasingly more uncomfortable.
My favorite were the Indians. They had the most interesting language. And the most interesting hats.
Nathan growing more and more uncomfortable. Nathan, who is Hispanic.
I don't mean this in a racist way. I always cared a lot for the brown people. So where are you from, Nathan? I never asked you this.
I mean, you're not Spanish.
No, just
But you're
definitely not Caucasian.
You're not
you're
Spanish.
brown people.
You're not Spanish, and you don't have the eyes of a Chinaman. So where exactly are you from?
Oh my god.
You're not like British definition of brown person.
I should really play like an old racist guy at one point.
It would be amazing.
Just hamming it all up. Eventually.
Quart. Butter.
Oh,
Mm.
Go.
Butter.
Oh bother.
oh
Mm.
bother.
Yeah. Anyway,
Bother. Yes,
I am
and other
further
colloquialisms.
becoming more and more unintelligible.
I know what now?
I'm further and further becoming more unintelligible.
Yeah, you are.
Perhaps you've had a few too many, sir.
I can handle my liquor quite well, thank you. I used to drink men twice my size under the table even.
Oh yes, I've heard those stories many times as well.
Yes, in fact, the thief, while quite good drinkers, can never quite handle their gin. Could go for a gin and tonic. He has about 4 glasses of gin and tonic stacked next to his plate. Waiter! Waiter! I'm not a gin and tonic, please. Yes. Lovely. Lovely.
Oh my god. I still want to meet this guy.
Nathan is scared.
I want to meet this guy in character. Come on. I have a gift basket for him.
So, anyways.
Indeed, sir.
I have more other matters that require a more adult touch to them. So I will need to depart soon. I thank you for your meal.
Thank you for your company, sir.
Take out his wallet, throw down like a 20. That will barely cover his drinks.
Nathan is
You're
used to
pretty sure
this.
he shouldn't be driving.
Honestly, Nathan is just happy that he paid something.
You know, that's probably an improvement from last time.
You can
Yeah.
tell that he is completely and utterly fucking sloth
Well,
because he actually pulled out his wallet and paid for something.
Oh
is much-
shit.
look, last time he stole my wallet. This is much better.
Nathan will look at the 20 and then look up at his mentor, and then go, "Sir, perhaps you shouldn't be driving. I mean, after all, isn't that what we have people to do for us?"
He's just making random noises now. It's great.
Why not? I paid a lot of money for that car, and sometimes I want to go joyriding in that car. You of all people should know that you shouldn't be telling me what to do.
Oh, of course not. I'm not telling you what to do, sir. It's the
Then be
first thing from my
silent.
mind. Yes, sir.
Silent.
You'll be fine.
Nathan on the inside. I'm in pain.
He'll
So
be
people are now looking over
fine.
at like the weird, obviously fucking wasted old man that's shouting.
Yep.
Waitress looks like she's about to come over to say something, but he storms out. Takes
Leaving.
the car that you drove in with. You can hear
Leaving.
like you can hear a car like backing into another car outside.
Ah, jeez.
Crunch. Car alarm goes off. Drives off. Couple seconds is for a couple seconds he pulls into oncoming traffic before swerving off to the right. Jason said nothing to her.
Hmm?
He has gone from like irritated to defeated to just neutral at this point.
Yeah. Nathan fucking feels it. And he looks over to him and he goes, first things first. I am so sorry.
Don't worry about it, sir.
If it's any consolation, I don't intend to act anything like my mentor.
No, you
Any
should be
consolation,
exactly
you're not-
like him.
If it's any consolation, I have heard many hermetics say that to me, sir.
Oh, you don't have to call me sir.
Of course I don't, sir. So, I have been assigned as what's oh god, what was his name? Fuck, what's the name of his rank? As Adeptus Mayor Gruber has said to be is your babysitter.
Oh my god. God damn it. So now Nathan's being babysat too.
However, I think that the more proper term should be advisor. Most people will just say consort. That being said, I can just shut up and make you tea if that's what you want.
I am generally not in the habit of wishing that from people. If your
Cool,
job
I guess.
description and role here is to advise me, then I will definitely be listening to your advice. That being
Sure.
said,
So, where should we start?
we should probably
First,
start.
what the fuck is going on in your cabal?
Oh, I wish I could tell you. I can at least
Yeah, that's okay.
attempt. Oh, goodness. So, these fuckers tend to run off and do things when I'm not around. This time, apparently, they managed to get several people killed, particularly one rather high-ranking person.
Okay.
It was a bad time all around. They've managed to get themselves excommunicated from the Chantry. They are
Ooh.
effectively being babysat.
Wait, like excommunicated, like kicked out, or just like house arrest, kicked out?
Well, for now, house arrest, but they're being
Okay.
very, very closely watched.
Okay. That surprises nobody.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So we got some of that bullshit. Huh.
We've got what bullshit?
So we got some of that. How much? First, I should ask, how much do you actually know about your own chantry? Let's address the things that you do know.
Nathan knows a lot more than I do.
Nathan knows about the same amount as you do.
No!
Has Nathan ever put any effort into researching the chantry?
Well, he's mostly been, fuck, hang on a moment.
He got some general opinions, which I did tell you about before, but otherwise, Nathan has not really been spending much time researching the chantry, which is perfectly fine. Nathan's been there for about 2 weeks.
That's a good point.
And Nathan never struck me as a particularly politically minded individual in the first place.
No, not really. It's kind of something he has in common with me.
Or is that represented by the fact that he has 0 doubts in politics? All right. Okay. Are you familiar with Horizon?
What the fuck is Horizon? Nathan will
God,
not
you
say
are-
that. Nathan will say, unfortunately, no.
God, you are baby new. How long have you been a mage?
Shit, he's been a maid for like 3 years now, hasn't he?
Man, you are such a baby. All right.
Well,
Okay, okay.
excuse me for disliking reading! Says not Nathan, but I.
No, you could do that with Nathan though.
No, because Nathan
Gio,
loves
finish
reading.
this
He's a
glass of
nerd.
wine.
Then he would know about this stuff.
Actually,
Actually,
we'll finish the glass of wine.
for
Huh?
Nathan would be good.
Like half full glass of wine downs the entire thing. All right. Fuck it. We're going to a bar if I'm gonna explain this to you.
I agree.
I'm gonna need to call an Uber.
I'm gonna need to get so drunk.
Okay. He gets up, throws money on the table. Throws way more than what the bill will be on the table.
Aw.
So it's like a $20 tip he just threw on top of it. Walks
Hey.
out.
Nathan follows him.
Calls an Uber. They go to you go to like a nearby bar or some shit.
Nathan pays for the Uber, by the way.
Cool. And you'll end up at a bar. It's a lower end bar, nothing crazy. It's kind of busy. The music drowns out a lot of speech from nearby tables. You both sit down. It's not a nightclub or anything like that.
That's fair.
Okay. So basically, you know Doystep, right? Some of you know Doystep.
What?
Doystep.
Are you? Is that you asking me, or is that the dude asking Nathan?
The dude asking Nathan.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't listen to music.
Okay, we're gonna retcon that last line. That is something Nathan would know.
Okay.
Doystep was one of the. It's basically like the big poobah of the chantries that the Order of Hermes held.
The big what?
The big poobah. It was the biggest, coolest looking fucking chantry because it sat in like the fucking umbral plane of forces. It was this giant
That
monolithic.
one.
Yeah, and his giant fucking monolithic castle out in fucking spirit space.
Shit, I know about that one.
Okay. It was called Doystep.
Right.
It's
Gotcha.
old Germanic. It blew up, had something to do with Archmage Porthos. Also the bunch of other motherfuckers. Long story. Alright, so you know about Doystep, right?
I do.
Cool. There was also Horizon. Horizon was in the Horizon realm. Yeah, it's confusing. You know Horizon.
Would Nathan know Horizon?
he knows a little bit about it. It was another place that got exploded. It's the reason why the Hollow Ones are no longer trusted amongst the traditions, because it's possible that they betrayed the council to the technocrats, who then blew up Horizon. It was, however,
Okay.
seen as like the main diplomatic center of the 9 traditions,
Gotcha.
where they did most of their mixing and mingling.
Oh, hey, I remember reading about that one.
Yep, you should.
Yeah. So Nathan goes, oh, yes. I remember that.
Awesome. I don't have to explain it to you. Take a sip of this drink. It's a rum and cola.
Yay! Cuba Libre!
So Tewksbury basically trying to set up his own version of Horizon, basically.
Sounds
That's
like
what this
something
whole
he'd do.
Unity bullshit is about. It's what he named his Cabal after. It's what he names his fucking Chantry after. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Chantry's
I
only
kind of
actually
wanted to do
been,
that.
Chantry's only been actually in order for about 5, 6, 7 years. Really new stuff. Very few permanent members, a lot of transients flowing through. Mostly mages coming to check things out. Generally, though, Chantries are primarily devoted towards one tradition because one tradition puts the resources into holding it. Allows other people in, but it's really only you can be member of a certain Chantry by being a member of that tradition. You get that part, right?
Of course I do.
Tewksbury obviously is the one in charge because he wants to put his mushroom stamp on it, wants to be the most important, and because Order of Hermes controls the most chantries because they have to compensate somehow for their tiny penises.
In some way. Seems like the most efficient one they could come out with.
It's that or explosions. So either castles or explosions. Pick one.
Castles.
Exactly. So fuck, I remember my original points. I've been drinking too much. What the fuck was I going on again?
I don't remember. I've been drinking too much as
I
well.
asked you how much you knew about your tradition.
Oh.
Sorry, not your tradition, your Chantry.
Yes.
I'm not going to ask about the tradition because either I'm going to get stuff that you should already know or I'm going to be sorely disappointed, and either way, I don't have time for that.
What the fuck just happened?
I dropped my cup.
Oh, also, I finished the rock wizard riding the laser dragon. I'm gonna send it over.
So, next, tell me about your cabal.
Well. Okay, my cabal is an absolute mess.
Nice.
That's adorable.
Thank you, thank you. I wanted to draw something adorable.
It's more of a
Anyway,
cyborg
Nathan
dragon,
goes.
though.
What?
It's more of a cyborg dragon.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Anyway,
So tell me about your cabal, because they sound like fuck ups apparently.
oh, you have no idea. First of all, there's Tewksbury. Tewksbury's own private, personal little vanity project, Zachary. He has been teaching him himself and has been orchestrating his awakening as far as I'm aware. He's been there from the very beginning, and he's the one who got him into the Chantry. Then there is Maggie, possibly the only decent person in the entire cabal. She's a I can't remember what they're called. Kinda, what are they called? Like what fucking kind of mage is she again?
She's a verbena.
Gotcha, that's the one. She's a verbena.
Yeah.
She's a verbena, soft-spoken, but with a kind of quiet strength behind her. I unfortunately don't know her too well. She's been down ever since, well, the incident that required my presence here occurred. That being the murder of one of their cabal mates. She's taken that quite hard.
Neat.
Not exactly the word I'd use for it, but fair enough. Then there's Dr. Artie Fish. Pretty much what
Wait,
it says.
no,
What?
stop. What?
Yes, I'm not kidding you.
What a fucking tool.
That's exactly what he is.
Wow.
Although an exceedingly amusing one, if you ask me. He's rather the sass master, and also I wouldn't be surprised if he's conducting some kind of strange experiment in whatever basement he has somewhere. He's the kind of guy you wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Anyway,
So he's a etherite?
I don't remember. Is he?
Yes.
Yes, yes, he is. Lastly,
Surprising no
there's
one.
what?
Surprising no one.
Surprising absolutely no one. Lastly, there's Lance Masters. He plays the piano and has a bar.
That's the extent
So,
of his personality.
Basically,
is he another consort?
No, he is actually one of the mages. He is
unfortunately.
what is he again?
He's a virtual adept.
Thank you. He's a virtual adept and surprisingly capable in what he does, from what I've been told. Although I've yet to experience it just yet.
So he's a pretty good pianist?
Well, yes, he's a pretty good pianist, but also a
Okay.
decent mage, as far as I've been informed.
It's,
Also,
there's, a,
between you and I, just extremely thirsty.
there's a lot of informed ability with Nathan.
Yep.
All right. So, bottom line, Zach is the teacher pet of Tewksbury.
Yep.
Let's see. Dr. Fish has like weird science experiments, probably touches fish in inappropriate places in a secret basement.
No one would be surprised.
Lance is a weird sexless virgin, and you want to fuck Jessica. It's basically what I'm getting.
How did you know her name's Jessica?
I'm sorry. Not Jessica. What the fuck is her fake name?
Maggie.
Maggie.
She's right
And
there
you
on the map.
And you want to slip the dick into Maggie.
Not particularly, no. I don't really swing that way.
Close enough.
Nathan shrugs.
So, you want to slip the platonic dick into Maggie. Gotcha.
In so many words.
Awesome. How did they fuck up?
As far as I've been told, there's a lot of things that are as far as I've been told. It had to do with them being some kind of hallway. One of the what was he, a cabal leader? No, what was he again?
Jordan?
Also, what was his name again? Jordan.
Jordan was the head of the Euthanatos.
Gotcha. As far as I've been told, they ran afoul of some rather nasty company, and the head of the Euthanatos, named Jordan, bailed them out of there at the expense of his own life. And now they are obviously being blamed for his death.
Cool. So wrong place at the wrong time.
Very.
Are you sure that's it?
I'm not entirely certain. I have yet to have the chance to inquire about more. They're all very tight-lipped about this entire situation.
Because unless that was super obvious, unless it was super obviously their fault, people get gacked. It happens. You Thanatos be pissed at them, but that'll go away.
Yeah,
That normally doesn't get somebody fucking. That normally doesn't get like somebody like Tewksbury or Hermetics in general pissed about something like that.
the thing is, though, the entire cabal was already rather politically hot at the moment for the very reason that they got me involved in the entire thing. Not because I'm a special person, but simply because I'm a hermetic. They already had one hermetic in the cabal, and now everybody else is looking at everybody. Now everybody is looking at everybody else in a weird way.
So, do you know why you got pushed into this cabal?
Honestly, I have no idea. I just want to drink my sorrows away at this point.
Do you know about the history that existed between Gruber and Tewksbury?
I do know about that.
Really? I didn't.
Honestly, it's difficult to make Gruber shut up about such things.
Were they roommates?
No.
Oh.
All right. So Gruber, it sounds fucking crazy, but he actually did used to be a member of the Janissaries.
Oh, what
The Jan. Oh God. All right. So one of the original houses before the Red Star. One of them was House Janissary. Janissary was kind of like the secret police as opposed to the Quasitori, who are
Oh, you
just
said
like open law enforcement.
Oh, you've
So
already said this.
So the Quasitori were like sort of hermetic FBI, then the Janissary were like hermetic SS, so to speak. Their main job was hunting out infernalism.
I mean, Nathan would already know this.
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
Either way, Jason doesn't have the highest expectations. The Janissaries eventually got found out that they had a whole problem with vampire blood, drinking a little too much. You know, it is.
And after that, Garuba very conveniently started changing the names around in his little glory stories about the past.
Totally fair.
Then again, that's kind of his MO.
Well, to be fair, Janissaries were also kind of linked to the destruction of Deutsch Steppe.
Very true.
Never liked that music anyway.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I already made that joke.
I know, I made it again. It's still funny.
Yeah.
So their job kind of got assumed by the Quasitori. To be fair, a lot of the people that Gruber used to work with were also members who did eventually transfer over to the Quasitori. So there's people to cover for a story. That being said, long story short, they have a history. Tewksbury was once accused of infernalism, and as you know in Hermetics, you are guilty till proven innocent. And Gruber was the main prosecutor in the entire situation. Turns out it was a cabal mate who was framing him. Turns out one of Tewksbury's cabal mates was framing him, but they've had bad blood running since. My guess, Tewksbury. Well, you know the saying, keep your friends closer, enemies closer.
Well, that does sound like Tewksbury.
So if you were in his cabal, if you were in the cabal of his personal bitch baby, he could have better control over you.
Makes me feel so much better about my position in life.
It really shouldn't.
That was sarcasm.
So, tell me about Zach.
He is, well, A big part of me wants to say not particularly capable, but that very same part of me recognizes that he is. He knows what he's doing for the most part, although he does tend to let his money talk for him. He's of an old family, and I'm pretty sure there's something fishy going on with that family, but you know, considering how he himself talks to his family, I say family, his parents and such.
Do you know what family he's from?
Fucking would Nathan know that? Has he asked? I mean, he
That's a good
overheard that.
question for him.
Hmm.
He overheard that. That phone call. I think.
Okay. Here's the question: did you, like, off screen? Did you ever talk to him?
I want to say yes.
Then you would know his family because he wouldn't shut up about it.
Okay, gotcha.
Like,
Alright, so
he's
you know
not.
his last name's Miller.
Sawyer doesn't hide anything. He's not capable of it. He will just talk about himself all day if he can actually.
What
You
is
would
his
also exactly know what school he went to, Harvard, what his grades were, very good, and so on and so on and so on.
And Nathan remembers he remembers this conversation, and he remembers just the moment his eyes started glazing over.
So you wouldn't have heard talking about his favorite opera.
Yeah. Although he still has
So there's
some vague
something that
sensation that
actually got brought up that Nathan does know about, which I'm gonna repost. There's a whole section that I sent you, and I know you obviously don't remember it.
of course I didn't. Oh, actually, I do remember that
Uh,
because that was one of the things that stood out to me.
so his last name, family he comes from.
Yep. His stinky one was
Milliner.
his last name again. Milliner. Right. Nathan says as much. It's Milliner.
Oh
He's of the
wow,
Milliners.
he comes from like Rockefeller level money.
Exactly, which is why he likes to make it talk for him. Because those words are very loud.
He doesn't have. Look. He doesn't get that much of an allowance. Please. It's barely enough to afford his car and 2 apartments and his practice as a psychiatrist and his school and his education.
Pocket allowance for resources.
That's his pocket allowance. Look, he obviously doesn't have access to all the money. That would be ridiculous.
No, that would be ridiculous. No. Yeah,
I
it's
love
like
the idea. I love the idea of Sawyer being on a budget. It's just, oh dear, I can't afford this much sherry in a month. I have to go with only 50 bottles. Oh dear, it
So
looks like I
yeah,
can only afford one Mercedes-Benz. Woe is me.
so,
Guess
so
I'll
you're
just have
looking
to
at
drive the old one, even though it's dirty.
I guess I can't afford a new apartment. I have to pay someone to clean the old one. Like a commoner. No, he wouldn't do that though. No, he's not an asshole. He's just rich.
Yep.
So
And
tell me more about Mr. Milliner.
oh boy.
Excuse me, that's Dr. Milliner.
A psychiatrist and very fond of reminding people so.
I
I'm
went to
pretty sure
Harvard. Harvard.
he went to Harvard, as he will frequently remind you.
I just imagine this is like all like quick cutaways into a flashback. Harvard. I went to Harvard. And then we got back to the restaurant.
Exactly.
I went to Seattle U. Fuck off my dick.
I went into the frozen wastelands of Svalbard to make maps.
I went to Trump University.
Oh.
Oh, you poor soul.
Ah. Ah. So anyway,
Anyway, indeed. Like I said,
so tell me
surprisingly,
more about Mr. Milliner.
like I said, surprisingly capable. Will not shut up about his family once you get him talking. Seriously, if you ever engage in conversation with him, have a few topics ready that do not revolve around him. Otherwise, your eyes will glaze over after the third hour.
The third
All
hour.
right.
I love that.
Sounds like a great human being.
Absolutely. Although very impulsive, I must say. He managed to somehow reveal himself to a non-mage, and then he proceeded to go on a date with this person.
Cut away. It was a night of passion. That's my excuse. Passion. Don't you know it?
Or as,
Cut
or
away
as he
again.
likes to, or as he likes to describe it, a night of passion.
All right. I just vomited in my mouth a little.
Wow.
Trust me, we all did.
Wow. Everyone's mean.
Colloquially, that night is known as the night of bad tastes.
Wow.
All right. Uh, is that it?
I don't know, what more is there to say? Shit. I'm running out of brain juice here, guys.
I mean, I just sent you that entire fucking.
Oh, right, yeah. Adoy. Let's see. Well, there's one pretty paramount thing about him. He's
Oh.
Tewksbury's apprentice, as I've indicated, and he hasn't taken one for over 40 years.
Hmm.
So evidently he sees something very special in this man. Or at the time that he met him, it was probably more that boy.
He's just in it for the money.
Let's see.
All right.
And he's his only apprentice aside from that.
Weird.
I know. It seems like Tewksbury's been quite the loner for quite some time. Now, I've yet to find out exactly what makes Mr. Milliner so special, aside from his money.
Dr. Milliner.
Dr. Milliner, as he will frequently remind you.
I didn't go to Harvard to be
Somebody's
called
about to get their
Mister.
shit pushed in.
What?
Somebody's about to get their shit pushed in. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, I'm reading.
All right. So
So,
that's
Right.
it, y'all. That's all you know about him?
No, I'm reading.
what you reading?
I'm reading the thing that Connor sent.
Oh no, you shouldn't.
I know.
It's too much knowledge.
Well, actually,
Oh,
there are just
come on.
there are just so many strange things about Zachary. The more you think about him.
What?
For one,
What?
he was taken on as an apprentice when he was in his 50s, a middle-aged man taken on as an apprentice.
Well, no, I mean, well, that's when he awakened, kinda. But he knew
Yeah.
Tewksbury way before that.
Yeah, but he wasn't an apprentice at Tewksbury way before that.
Maybe he just saw a bit more than Sawyer saw. Maybe he was just really slow in awakening, which would actually fit.
And aside from that, I've heard that his awakening was spontaneous.
Huh. So he was never actually Sawyer's apprentice, or he was never actually Tewksbury's apprentice until after he awakened.
Exactly. He's known him for ages, though. A real teacher's pet. Which just makes it all the more strange. I mean, why wouldn't he have taken him on earlier when he already had his eye on him?
Maybe because of the family money.
It's
I don't know.
it's a
It's weird.
possibility.
I
It might have
mean,
been.
Tewksbury has friends in House Fortuna. He doesn't lack for contacts to money.
It's true, but
It's not like he needs the money.
it still boggles my mind, though.
It should. 50 years old, makeup apprentice. Um, obviously, Tewksbury never planned for him to awaken.
Which just makes it even more strange that he took such an interest in him. But then
But
again,
well, it just
thinking
means that what it means is that Zach just has value to Tewksbury beyond him being a mage.
very true.
The question is what?
Maybe he's just a gold digger.
It also
Entirely possible.
that particular point of it kind of explains why he took him on as an apprentice. He had personal ties to
Again,
him beforehand, before he awakened. Seems like
so
he's
he
wanting to protect
knows
him.
why. So he would know why Zachary is valuable.
He would. However, I don't think it's a particularly good idea to ask Mr. Tewksbury about this, Professor Tewksbury.
Obviously not.
You should
So,
though. No, you totally should.
all right.
Just asking, hey,
So,
why do you like Sawyer so much? And then your head explodes.
I like my head where it is. I don't think I want to ask him about that.
is Sawyer particularly capable? I'm sorry, not Sawyer. Is Zachary a particularly capable mage?
Again, I haven't really seen much of anything.
Jeez, I wouldn't know that.
And I have a feeling he doesn't even particularly know himself.
Wow. Okay. How's this whole girlfriend angle turning out? I'm sorry. Secret lover, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
He's not exactly keeping it secret, by the way.
Well, he's not exactly keeping it secret. But it's turning out that this insane broad that he picked up knows a bit more than she probably should. Needless to say, none of any of the other, none of the us other Cabal mates think it's prudent or wise of him to pursue this, but you're trying to tell Sawyer to do something he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, he would do it out of
Hmm.
spite at that point.
$5 says that she is working for another cabal.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's pretty much what that's pretty much what I'm thinking too.
That or a vampire. Anyways,
Obviously, vampire.
Well, she is goth.
That doesn't make you
okay,
a
not as
vampire.
common as you think amongst vampires. It's a
I know.
little too obvious.
I know, but a bad joke regardless. And one I could not
Serious.
resist.
Like, they tend to dress like normal people. Serious word of advice. They dress like normal people unless they're weird.
Sometimes they costume as
Obviously.
lawn chairs. It's weird.
Fuck off. All right, so how does Lance, Maggie, and Fish fit into this whole picture? Why are they in a cabal with this guy?
They all awakened at the same time.
What?
Exactly.
What?
Along with the other person who died, whom I replaced. His name was Lou Schifre.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a whole Catholic thing going on.
Don't forget.
So
So
5
self-referential.
mages awoken at once and got packed together into one cabal.
Yep.
Tell him about the guy who died. Like
Wait, is
no,
that not normal?
the
Is that
other
normally not how it works?
the other guy who died.
Which guy?
The guy who got. Oh no, he didn't die. I'm dumb. Sorry.
Adam.
Yeah, tell him
Right.
about the murderer.
Yep. Actually, it was 6.
6.
The person who was the cause of the 5th person's unfortunate end awakened along with them. His name was Adam. What is the deal with Adam again? Is he still like around?
He got kidnapped by
That's a good question
someone.
to ask in character.
It
Um,
is.
I mean, wait, in character, what would you know? Probably what we know because we wouldn't keep it secret.
Exactly what Chicken knows. You can ask that in character later.
Okay.
It's true.
All right.
Roll play.
Yep.
Okay. So 6 mages awoken at the same time. I don't suppose you know under what context.
I'm afraid not.
All right. Bottom line: woke at the same time, stuck together. One of them is Tewksbury's personal bitch.
Yep.
Where do the others? Where does the other 3 stand politically?
As neutrally as possible at the moment.
Yeah. So does fucking Zachary. That doesn't mean anything.
This is a very good point.
Who are they friends with? Who are they being taught by? Who hates them?
I mean, fuck. Nathan would know this, but I've forgotten.
Would he really know that though?
Yes, he listened to rumors around the chantry. He
Oh, okay.
asked you guys.
Okay, fair
Pretty
enough.
significantly, off the top of your head, you remember that each of them are being trained by the head of their tradition.
Yep. Each of them are being trained by the head of their tradition. So it's basically an amalgam of all the new movers and shakers of the new generation.
It's like they're protagonists in some sort of game they play.
It's all very protagonistic.
You said word a lot. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
About the right reaction, I'd say. Nathan takes another drink of his drink.
So you got a cabal of like a bunch of. There's probably like some weird prophecy about this. There's always a weird, stupid fucking prophecy.
I wouldn't
Okay.
be surprised.
So you got some crazy auspicious like octuplet or sextuplet. I'm terrible with Greek. Awakening at once, which is already fucking crazy.
Absolutely.
And you got them all being like personally babied by important mages in the cabal, by essentially the head honcho autocrat of the cabal, or
Yep.
of the chanty rather. You're there because Tewksbury wants to keep an eye on you because you're Gruber's apprentice.
Indeed.
How are things right now?
Tense. Extremely tense. Pretty much everybody in the Chandri are pissed off at the rest of the cabal.
You mentioned that they were under house arrest?
Yes, exactly.
Not quite house arrest. It's more like a kind of curfew.
Well, curfew might be a better word for it.
Yeah.
They're
We are,
being
yeah. We're allowed to
they're
leave,
being
but
they're being watched.
We
They
just
aren't
have
allowed
to
to leave without uh escorts,
permission,
without
explicit
per-
permission.
yes,
without explicit permission.
angry
Murder
typing.
notes are being written.
No, I'm just typing. All right, so I'm literally taking notes on the things that Jason knows that you've been
Oh.
telling him because you were given a retainer with a lot of dots in politics and intelligence.
Oh, nice.
Oh, neat.
So I'm literally trying to keep track of what this guy is capable of piecing together.
Nice.
Oh boy.
You have not been giving him the right information.
Oh, god
Anyway.
damn it. What else would I give him?
Well, I deduce that this group is full of shit people.
I deduced that chicken has the wits of one. Anyways,
As a what? Hey!
exactly.
That's not nice.
My case and point. What?
Look, I'm tired and it's a lot of politics and I don't like politics.
Fits the character.
All right.
And also an entirely new system that I'm not familiar with yet. So quit banging on about how bad of a player I am. It's making me feel
terrible
bad.
chicken. You're awful. You're never gonna make it, kid. It's not that bad. Anyways, all right. Cool. So why are they under house arrest?
Well, I mean, a part of
Okay.
me wants to ask, weren't you listening?
Well, okay. Look. Just somebody getting fucking gacked isn't enough for them to be put under fucking house arrest. Unless it was obviously their fault. And do you know, sir?
Look, I wasn't there, and that's not Nathan speaking. Like, what?
All I need to know, sir.
What the fuck would I fucking?
So you don't know. That's all I need to know, sir. I can find out for you. Don't worry. For your help, sir.
You have a Smithers now. It's great.
Yes. A Smithers.
Oh great! I thought Ben didn't want to play in this game.
Release the hounds.
Release the hounds. Congrats, you're Mr. Burns now.
I don't want to be Mr. Burns.
I don't want to make a bird. I want to give this Gruber person his goddamn gift basket. And I kept
Yes,
saying
because that's what you gotta care
All right,
about.
it's the
where's
most
your
important thing right now.
cabal? We should probably talk to them at some point.
Yes, indeed. Most of them are. You know what? Fucked if I know. I'm too drunk to figure out where the heck they are right now.
Do you have a cell phone?
I do.
Can I see your cell phone?
Could just ask me to call them.
Are you sober enough to call them, sir?
Probably.
All right. I'm just saying, sir, you have people for that and all that.
I'm not comfortable with having people for things.
Oh, well, you should. You're hermetic, sir.
Ah.
You have people for everything, sir. Even things that shouldn't make any logical sense for people to do. That's what you summon spirits for. Or demons, or
That reminds me.
elementals, or
That
a
reminds
million
me.
different ones.
That reminds me, I hired you a bottom wiper. You don't have to do it yourself anymore.
Should have done what Mum said. Should have just become a lawyer.
Yeah, well, Mom said a lot of stuff.
What
We don't
kind
listen enough to our mothers.
what kind of mother would say to their child, just become a lawyer? You heartless bastard. Look, all you care about is money and fame. Just become a lawyer and get out.
Get out.
Yes, thanks, Mom. Love you too.
So yeah, call whatever Cabal members you can get.
Nathan does so.
Ring, 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 ring. Banana phone.
Who's
Do-do-do-do-do.
who's number one on your speed dial list, if I may ask?
It's alphabetic.
Mm,
Okay, who is
decent excuse.
one of the more recent ones? Recent call. In the past 10 calls, who is the most common one?
I don't know. I think.
It's-
Look, I don't
so
know.
some pizza service.
It's
Same.
alphabetical. Fish, you get a call.
Hello?
Hello. This is Nathan speaking.
Yes, and what do you
Hello?
want?
Housekeeping.
Well, it seems like my mentor has gifted upon me a helper, as it were. And it's rather important that we all meet him.
Alright, so where do you want me to go then? To meet this new
Uh,
servant boy of yours.
Please don't call him that.
Not the worst thing I've been called, sir.
By the way, you're on speaker.
Oh dear.
Oh,
No,
I'm-
sir, you're on speaker.
I didn't mean
Um,
servant boy. I mean my boy toy. I should stop talking now.
You really should, sir.
I'm, sorry, hello.
Hello. My name's Jason. I am the assigned consort of one Nathan Pole. Christ. He pauses for a second. Nathan, fuck. What degree are you?
That's an excellent question. Connor, what degree am I?
God, you're gonna make me look this up.
Wouldn't he be the same? Wouldn't he be the same degree as we are? No, wait. He has one more thing. I think.
I don't fucking know.
I think he has one more quintessence.
You do not have a third rank in any sphere. This is why you read the book. So you don't make me do more work.
So you
Initiate Exemptus.
Yeah. So same as we.
I am the sworn consort of Nathan Pole, Initiate Exemptus, Bani Bonasagas.
Yes. Exactly. Everything you just said.
And that sounds like a bit of a mouthful.
Welcome to the Order of Hermes.
There's a reason I never wanted to join them.
Probably because you wouldn't make it anyways.
Anyways, indeed. So
Don't worry, most of us don't.
I suggest we all rendezvous at my apartment. It's rather central and easy for everyone to find.
I'm sorry. I just saw what my true name is in character, and I forgot what I put in there. It's dumb.
Beautiful.
It's ridiculous and dumb.
Because
As
of
it
course
should
it
be.
is.
It has to be.
Absolutely.
Well, I suppose Fish will he'll say, anyway, I suppose I'll meet you there, and hang up.
You're always so sad about actually meeting people.
Aww, meeting people.
God damn it,
I
I
have
have
to
to
go
socialize.
outside.
Walking. Can't bring my lasers into public. Ugh. We should take Dr. Fish to like laser tag, but with like real lasers that like implode you.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
That would make him happy.
And Fish will then have to step away from the reading that he was doing in neuroscience because he needs to figure out how to rebuild someone's brain.
Oh dear.
We all know you're actually reading like 50 Shades of Grey or some shit.
Hey.
I mean, to be
He would
fair,
get
you do
the
have to
good
be very
erotica.
intelligent to understand it.
No, it's not. It's not Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Since, he needs to figure out, and considering all he really has to work with is what he
Perform
scooped
totally
off of.
legitimate research.
Yeah, to fix brains that were scooped off the pavement.
No, I can see it. Performs really good, like perform legitimate research. And he's starting. Oh, Spock, you can't be with Kirk. You come from two different worlds.
Uh,
Just reading like slash fiction.
God, yes.
Oh dear.
and Fish will head over to Nathan's apartment.
You're so disappointed by that. Come on. It's so sad.
Fine, I'll advance the plot
No, that's...
if I have to.
Can't you just like I don't know, go shopping or something on the way? Get a hot dog. Have some do something fun.
Cheer yourself up, man!
Arrive there smiling with a balloon in your hand.
I met
Where'd
a
you get a
clown on.
balloon?
I met a clown on the way, and he wasn't creepy.
I met a clown on the way and I punched him in the face. It was great.
Yeah,
Did
stole
you
his
know they
balloon.
bleed balloons?
Soulless balloon and his nose. Honk honk.
Meanwhile, Nathan and Jason get a cab.
Yay!
I don't get a
Cab
call.
Adventures of Nathan and Jason.
I was thinking about how to answer the call. Oh well.
Answer the call. And exactly. Yeah, Nathan calls the fucking you, Stinky.
Thanks. I don't need a name. I don't need a name. It's just hey you.
Hey you!
That's Doctor
A
Hey You for
meeting.
you. It's
Get in, bitch. We're going talking.
hey you Harvard bitch. So you call.
Nathan should know that despite the fact that it was Jason's idea to go out drinking, Jason's had maybe a cup of wine or a glass of wine, and a beer at this point.
You shouldn't
To
mix
be
those.
fair, usually Nathan really doesn't drink, but he feels like he fucking needs it out of this encounter.
Jason has been drinking very lightly. Nathan was first to notice because compared to Jason, Nathan realized that he was drinking way more than usual.
Also, I'll be right back.
Seeing how he had like 3 shot glasses stacked next to like 2 beer bottles.
Jesus. Nathan squints a little bit at that realization, like, I don't usually drink at all.
You don't?
Not really.
Hmm.
Well, a little bit once in a while, but definitely never like this.
Probably a stressful time. I
Exactly.
honestly, if I was a apprentice to Adeptus Mayor Gruber, I'd drink. No offense, sir.
None taken. Absolutely none taken.
Anyways, gonna call Zachary.
Yes.
Lance, by the way, will be continuing to have a fucking temper tantrum.
As he does.
Yeah.
And the call does not connect to Jessica. I'm sorry, not Jessica. Maggie.
God damn it.
Because she's fucked off into the woods.
And Nathan theorizes as much. Looks like she's somewhere without reception. Figures.
Like one of those weird nature hippies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a weirdo.
Mysterious druid.
Weird magic powers.
Weird magic powers. There's kinds of weird powers.
Ring, 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 ring.
And back.
Banana phone. Your phone's fucking ringing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I looked. All this talk about drinking made me go to the toilet.
Your phone's fucking ringing. Does Zachary answer his phone?
Zachary will sprint out of the bath, dressed in a bathrobe, like still tying it, and answer the phone. Just going, yes? I mean, this is Dr. Cayley answering. Yes?
Oh, hello, Zachary. It's all right. You don't have to. You don't have to be all aflutter.
Well,
I've been
I'm not.
assigned
I'm not a
a-
flutter at anything. Still tying his bathrobe with one hand.
In any case, I've been assigned a. What was he again? Like,
A consort.
consort?
A consort. Yeah.
Consort.
Consort. Ooh, the fancy one. Mm.
I've been assigned a consort, and we're all meeting him.
The proper verbiage in the Order of Hermes is that you were given a consort.
Well,
Like
I
a
feel more
present.
like it's. I feel a lot more like it's assigned.
Oh, I see.
You're missing the point. Consorts are basically. So consorts are basically failed apprentices. With the Order of Hermes, awakening for the average hermetic isn't like some giant flash of insight. It's more of a gradual process where someone's kind of worked into it by beginning with basic studies, hedge magic, then eventually.
Right.
The idea is awakening.
So
So
he's
for
a
the average
dropout.
hermetic, people who can't awaken after going through training are considered moral failures, so to speak.
Oh.
That being said, many are still somewhat accomplished hedge mages and still inundated with a lot of hermetic information. So it's hard to just let these people go out into the night. So very often they're offered jobs and positions working as consorts.
So he's a college dropout.
Pretty much.
All right. Yes, Sawyer can can sympathize with that. He knew a lot of
And
college
very
dropouts.
often they're assigned to specific positions, essentially working as like the essentially working as the help. And in their contract, they basically were kind of like indentured servants.
Yep, I can see
After a fashion, and it kind of sucks to be them because very often they're treated like shit. While physical abuse is very rare to happen, because many consuls will just leave. They're not treated very well.
Jesus. Well,
because the hermetics are a bunch of elitist douchebags.
That's true.
Yep.
Anyway, well, Sawyer will go, well, that is quite a development.
That's one way of saying it.
I would be delighted to meet him. Should I bring him a gift basket?
No need.
I still have one left over, though.
We'll be rendezvousing at my apartment. Be there in roughly an hour.
Very well. I'll be there. And he
see you.
hangs up. And then he will go to the gift basket that was supposed to be for this Gruber character who never showed up. Very unprofessional, I might add. Very impolite. He will take out the bottle of expensive wine and I don't know.
The cheese.
Probably not the cheese, to be honest. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Just bringing wine and cheese.
Wine and cheese go well together.
Oh,
You know what? Yeah, you have a point. He will take out the wine and the block of cheese, like not a block, but like like a piece of the wheel.
Aw.
wine, cheese, bit of
Wedge.
sausage, crackers.
Wedge. No, wedge is the word. A wedge of the cheese
Wedge.
wheel,
Nice.
and he will go on his way, and like, of course, probably tell the receptionist that he's going outside the chantry because he's treated like a fucking child at the moment.
Yep.
I'm
The
going to visit some friends, Miss So and So.
the secretary is actually another consort. Other consorts may not actually have been failed apprentices. They could just be regular people that were hired.
I want to make one thing clear here. Sawyer will not be dismissive of these people. Like, he will treat
He's
them
not
the same.
dismissive of the hired help.
Not at all. No, he will treat them the same as any other person he meets, as someone maybe not worthy of respect, but certainly dignity.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Like, they're
might be
not.
a milliner, but that doesn't mean he's a douchebag.
Yeah, they're not in his circles, but doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means they have other circles.
Yeah, there was tales of in Doystep how some of the consorts there were literally like generations of families
Ooh.
that
can
have
see that.
always lived in Doystep that have just been generational servants.
I can see that.
Oof.
Like,
Grant me
what was your
wine.
like? What did you do? I was a butler. What did your dad do? He was a
Was
butler.
a butler. He was
What
a
did your
butler.
great grandfather do? He was a fucking butler.
A butler with a certain pedigree is worth quite a lot. Maybe worth more than a lord.
So yeah, Doystep basically had like its own peasant class since the 800s.
I just want to point this out. A lord can be replaced. A proper butler, much harder. Because there's training and etiquette and class involved in being a butler. Whereas with a lord, you're just kind of thrown into it at birth like an asshole.
Everything's just given to you.
More or less.
Yeah.
But a butler has to work for it. Very hard. So yeah, Sawyer has the greatest respect for butlers and general servants if they're good at their job.
Redistribute the wealth to the butlers. Let's go.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yep.
So just sign here, son, and then sign here, buddy, and then sign here, and you're all good to go. She puts like a little stamp on your hand.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is just the worst. That is
She was
honestly.
instructed to be as condescending as possible to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
see
just
why.
mean.
It's
And this is one of the few times that she can get a one-up on one of the actual mages.
So she's fucking going for it.
Oh yeah.
Just right to the throat, no mercy.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't
blame
hurt that
her?
she's like high school mean girl turned fucking. Anyways,
Okay, I don't like her then. She's mean. She's mean.
I don't
What a
like her. She's
meanie.
mean.
What a meanie.
She's a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Anyway, yeah, Sawyer will go with it because honestly he doesn't have a choice. And he's gonna take his cheese and his wine and he's gonna visit his friend.
because as you'll soon find out, Jason does actually have a degree. He is a zealotor. He actually knows a bit of hedge magic.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Jessica, however, the secretary, does not have a degree. She is just a straight up fucking servant.
So she's a
Can-
secretary on a power trip.
Can we
Pretty
like,
much.
Can we like just
The worst
demolish the
people.
hermetics?
Let's move on then.
No. At least it's not a middle management power trip.
Yeah.
Oh god, no, that'd be worse.
Yeah, she typically gets treated terribly, and now she got a chance to like get a one up on a real mage.
No, she doesn't. She gets a one up on me.
I like that.
We should band together against the higher ups, against the elite. I said you take it out on your fellow citizens,
Oh, fuck off.
fellow your fellow underpaid freedom seeker. No, you wouldn't do that. He's not that removed from society.
Not that big of a tool.
No, easy. Look, fuck it. He's getting punished by his superiors, so he has to go through with this, and that's the long and short of it. He's not blaming
Oh my
her
God,
for.
this is super
He's
unfair.
not blaming her for being a bitch. He doesn't like her for being it, but he doesn't blame her for it. That said, she's not getting a tip.
A fucking tip.
I was thinking about giving her the rest of the gift basket.
Oh my God. You and your fucking gift baskets.
It's getting to waste. There's chocolate in there,
You and your
like fancy
fucking-
bread.
You and your fucking gift baskets.
To be fair, who wouldn't want expensive chocolate if it's obvious?
Yeah, the one for Tewksbury had a bread maker in it.
Oh
my God.
Why would you need Why?
Why would?
Why would
Why
you
would you put a
need a
bread maker in a gift
maker?
basket?
It's just something you put in those things.
It was just that moment of like ... Wait, what?
Tewksbury will be like, well, I'm keeping it, but what? Anyway, so yeah, I'm getting my little stamp on my hand like a goddamn child so I can come back the chantry later, and I'm going to visit Nathan.
Yay!
And there's my alarm going off. So it's time for my antidepressants. In game and out of game.
Yay!
Oh God.
Anyway.
What a fucking tool.
Oh, shut up.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to be
Not
in character.
You, your fucking character.
Yeah! I'm trying so hard to be in character. It's really hard to play someone this kind of... What do you call this guy?
Out of touch?
That's good, yeah, out of fucking touch.
Yeah.
He means so well. He's trying so hard.
But in the end, it doesn't even gift basket.
No, it doesn't. Anyway, so I'm on my way to
But
Nathan.
in the end, it doesn't even meet muster.
I'm on my way to Nathan, and since, he will probably take his car. So let's see. They said an hour.
Yep, an hour.
He might arrive sooner then.
Legit. What's up, bitches? We're going talking.
Excitement, adventure, talking.
Well, see, it's a bit.
Whoa.
It's a bit hard to
Socialization.
look. It's a bit hard to get in the American mindset here because as a German, I would arrive 10 minutes early, and everyone would be fine with that. In fact, it would be expected from me.
Yeah, which is why you arrived 20 minutes early.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, because it's Portland, it is again pissing rain outside.
Yeah, he's definitely taking a car then.
I also just wanted to add in a sound effect in the background because it's sounding a little dry. Ha 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 ha. I am the cleverest.
Absolutely.
I can hardly hear that actually. Let's see.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yay. Okay.
Yeah, now it's really pissing rain.
Nice rain. Good thing I already went to the toilet.
Yeah. So you will all end up at Nathan Pole's apartment. Chicken, Could you describe the place and domicile and general location that Nathan lives in?
Books, books, and more books. Although that's interior. Exterior, it's a subdued neighborhood. He lives where old people go to die.
Oh,
So you
So-
live in Gresham.
Pretty much.
wait, you live in Florida? Oh, or that farm up north that my parents always mentioned?
Or where the pets
Yep,
go?
definitely.
Where your pets
Yeah,
live?
yeah. And grandma too.
Oh, Grandma didn't
Oh.
go to Florida. Okay. Like, no, I want a natural death. I want to be eaten by a crocodile.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, so yeah, I will arrive like I will arrive like 20 minutes early. Don't know about Adi Fish.
Alright.
I'm gonna say 5 minutes early.
And what about Lance? Can we can we call Lance and he's just hanging up or something?
No, he's busy having his bitch fit.
Like you
Aw.
do.
I just want to call Lance. He said, "No, sorry, I'm busy raiding." And wow. Actually, no, he wouldn't play WoW. He would play something more obscure, something cooler.
Guild Wars. The original.
Did you just call Lance cool?
The original. No, no, sorry,
No,
I can't.
no.
I'm raiding in Ultima Online.
Oh god. Yes.
Absolutely, that would fit the
Or
character
worse,
so well.
EverQuest 1.
That would
Oh,
fit the character
God.
so well.
It's gonna be EverQuest 1.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
Perfect.
And everyone else is
So
like,
you can
"What's an
hear in the
EverQuest?"
background. You can hear in the background like fucking Lance's mix of Evanescence, Linkin Park, and Fort Minor. He tells you that he's busy doing a raid on EverQuest. That's a game that you recognize, which means that it must be old as shit.
Oh, jeez.
I would feel bad about this, but Zephy isn't here, so whatever. It's his own
Yeah,
fault.
so we
Fuck
can
him.
make fun of him.
And it sounds like he's having a pout.
His like little demon familiar is just egging him on. No, your build is all false, man. What are you doing?
Terrible. Realistically, Lance is just mashing buttons while Gygax is actually playing the game.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yes.
But Lance is in the chat, shit talking all everyone else.
Oh yeah, that's super what's going on. Lance is working the keyboard. Just shit posting. Just shit posting like a champion.
This is weirdly in character for him.
Yeah. It
Absolutely.
really is.
Gygax has been running raids nonstop 24/7. Lance is shit posting on Reddit. They make a great team.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh god. So yeah, Lance is busy, and Maggie, wherever she is, does not have cell reception.
Exactly.
Actually, I wanna look something up here. Yeah, it is 20 years old. Good lord.
Jesus Christ.
It was released March 16th, 1999.
Alrighty then.
That game is nearly old enough to drink.
Oh,
Well, in the US, it would be old enough to drink here.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
It's
so
old enough to enlist in the army
Oh God.
bringing it down.
and vote.
Also, can I just bring up there's a town called Boring in this map?
Yes.
And I love that. That's
Shut-
probably where Nathan lives.
Yes, I'm living in Boring, Bland Street 6. Actually,
Yes.
it would be even funny Bland Street 0815, but that's a German thing, so never mind that.
So yeah, you live, let's say, in Centennial. nearly borders of Gresham. So you're like
Somehow worse.
somehow worse, yes. Centennial.
Oh god.
I love how all the fucking old people live in Centennial. Oh, it's terrible. Anyways, it's an old dumpy building, is the best way to describe it. Dumpy.
Yeah.
You can see an old lady slowly tottering to her car on her stretcher. Waves high. It takes her about like a full fucking minute to go through the whole motion.
Of course, Nathan waves at her. Obviously, he's waved at her many times. This is what old people pass for knowing each other.
Yes.
Actually, it's what I pass for knowing each other. It's what awkward people pass for knowing each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Also
Oh.
fair.
Hello, friend, old lady. How are you doing? Anyway, Zachary will arrive, like I said, about 40 minutes after the call, circling the block 2 or 3 times, trying to find a parking spot for his ridiculously oversized BMW.
What a fucking tool.
Absolutely.
It was it was the most convenient car in his his budget.
For the week.
No, he loves this BMW, by the way.
Oh no.
Like he didn't get the newest version or even the biggest one. He got the one he
Holy
liked.
shit.
So
Holy shit.
it's still like a ridiculous, like how do I say, penis substitute. But you know. So he'll park eventually, then get out with his cheese wedge and a bottle of wine.
Up in the apartment, Jason looks out through the window. Looks over to Nathan like, that's is got to be the tiniest penis man I have ever seen.
That would be Zachary.
Okay, here's the thing though. Like, of course, out of character it would look that way. In character, really just got the car because he likes it.
Micro penis.
He has no idea how that looks from the outside. Despite being a psychiatrist.
What
That's
a
what-
micro penis looks like from the
No,
outside.
no. He does not understand how his having a car like that looks like from the outside. Like he really doesn't. I just want to make this clear because it fits the character a lot.
No, I get you.
It does.
So anyway, he takes his cheese wedge and the wine and an umbrella and goes to what he assumes is Nathan's apartment building.
Yeah.
Yep. He has the address.
You'll get buzzed up. I will assume that Fish is already there because he understands how to read a fucking street address.
Yes.
Well, Zachary is kind of off-put by the general the peasantness of the environment, I should say.
The the peasant elderly being abandoned to die.
He's not normally in this part of town. Let's say it like that. So he's
No,
not.
this is where old people go.
Well, yeah, he's not used to this kind of environment. It's a bit.
And he's not that old yet.
I mean,
They just got a conveyor belt trucking out all the fucking dead old people. They got another one bringing new old people in.
Yep.
It's like a cycle.
okay, let's just say he's being reminded of living in a dorm,
Legit.
and it's not
Yeah.
exactly a pleasant memory for him. So anyway, he will arrive at
No,
Nathan's
He
door
starts having
and
flashbacks about Bubba.
oh god, he's
And
he's
his
arriving at
sweet,
Nathan's door
sweet
and will
break.
ring the doorbell 2 times.
And you'll be
And then wait.
buzzed up.
Buzzed.
Buzzed it up.
Well, he will go up
Buzzed.
to what floor?
I want to say pretty high up. one of the floors that not a lot of one of the floors that couldn't really sell to the regular habitants because
Ah,
well, it takes a while to get up there, and if the lift is out of order, you gotta take the stairs.
wow, a lift.
Yes, a lift.
As a child, and I told this before, I grew up in a house that didn't even have a proper toilet system. We had toilets in the floors.
Jesus,
Yeah, they froze over in winter.
I'm not surprised.
Oh,
Anyway, so yeah, Zachary goes up there, disappointed by the environment, but not surprised, and eventually reaches the door. And are you like waiting at the door like a chump?
Jason will be the one to open the door for you.
Oh
Yep.
dear, I don't know him.
Come on
you
in.
talked to him on the phone, though.
Yeah, but I don't know what he looks like.
Come on in. There's already a cup of tea waiting for you.
Oh, you must be Jason then.
Yep.
Yes, pleased to meet
Don't
you.
let-
Pleased to meet you. And I
Don't let the
stretch out
cool
my hand.
air out. He grabs your hand, kind of just pulls you inside,
Oh dear.
closes the door.
Oh dear.
Not roughly, just kind of like guides you in.
No, I get it. It's very much.
Just like, all right, move along, hurry the fuck up.
Well, that's very
He's got like
stressful.
the general air of like disgruntled customer service agent, like somebody who's worked in customer service for about 40 fucking years,
Well, I'm
which
not
is
gonna
which is longer than he's been alive.
I'm not gonna judge Nathan for with whom he hooks up to. Hooks up with.
Hey,
Look, I'm not judging. If you like this sort of person, then you like this sort of person. That's it.
Get in.
Getting
look,
in.
I didn't have a say.
No, I'm Sawyer totally thinks you two are an item now.
Obviously.
It makes sense to him. You don't just get like a helper thrown at you in his mind, because that's weird.
Yep.
Yes, you
Welcome to
buy
Nathan's
and pay
life.
for them yourself.
Exactly.
All right, everybody sit down.
And I put the bottle of wine and the wedge of cheese like on the, I assume, coffee table. I honestly, I kind of imagine Nathan having a glass coffee table for some reason.
You know what? He probably does.
But like it's not a new one. It's like slightly chipped at one end, but he kept it because it has like personal memories attached to it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and he's got a little display underneath it with I want to say bugs pinned up.
Yeah. Like it's a very personalized apartment.
Yeah, actually, it kind of looks a little bit like a library exploded in there.
Well, yeah, very personalized. Sawyer has an apartment somewhere in town that's filled with like African art.
Huh?
That isn't shown to anyone, by the way.
And that's just one of his buttons.
It is actually. He has another apartment in Seattle.
Yep.
So he presents the bottle of wine, which is really, really good, expensive wine, but you wouldn't know that. And the wedge of cheese, which again, very good cheese, which you wouldn't know. And then he
To,
just
Did I get
Nathan or
glasses
to-
for the wine, sir?
no, he just puts it generally on the coffee table to like as a gift because he's already sitting, so handing it to someone would be awkward.
That's fair.
He looks at Nathan. Should I get glasses for the wine, sir?
I've already had too much, but Sawyer, if you want, the offer is on the table.
Oh, please, no, the wine is supposed to be drank at a special occasion.
Fair point.
We could, however, taste the cheese.
That's not a bad idea.
I'll get a knife, sir.
Yeah, it's
You don't
never a
have to
bad
call
idea
me
to have
sir.
some cheese.
and he'll go get a cheese knife, assuming that Nathan has one. Otherwise, you'll get the
Why
the
would
next
he?
closest thing.
Why would he have
He
a cheese
does.
knife?
Because he's Nathan Goddamn Poole.
And of course, he has a cheese knife.
I meant okay.
Doesn't have a full spread of sheets for his bed, but has a cheese knife.
I
Yep.
imagine. Okay, I imagine. What was his name? Fuck.
Jordan.
Jonas?
No, not Jordan. Fuck. Ugh.
Jason.
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 Why did I think of Jonas?
It's very close to Nathan.
Yeah, I thought of Jonas. Like, oh yeah, the whale, right? Jason. I
Just
imagine
remember
him.
Slasher.
Yeah, I am. That's not helping. I imagine him taking a cheese knife out of the cupboard and just blowing on it, blowing dust from like 2 years away.
Probably.
Yes.
Wipes
Beautiful
on a
cheese knife.
rag. Walks back over. Starts cutting cheese for everybody.
Yes. With a piece of butter.
Thank you, Jason.
Yep. Of course, sir. So,
Anyway.
if you two could explain what you fucked up.
I beg your pardon?
If you two could explain what you fucked up, sir.
The whole debacle with Jordan. It was Jordan, right?
Yes.
Oh!
Adam was the name he was going by.
Oh,
right.
that.
Wait, no, do you want to know about Adam or Jordan?
Adam, the
Okay.
reason why you're all on house arrest and being baggage to my assigned charge. I'm sorry, my assigned Magi.
Well, in that case, it'd probably be better to start with Adam.
Wait, are you already there? Mitch?
He was there before
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
We said I arrived 20 minutes early. He said he arrives 5 minutes early. That's why I'm asking.
Well, you also then went on to say that you spent 40 minutes trying to find the right building.
I didn't say 40 minutes, but fine, let's go with it. Whatever. It's in character.
Tiny, yeah.
It actually is in character. I don't mind. So Adam, well, let me recollect my memories. Adam, we were in a rather precarious situation in a cave, being positioned against a number of armed adversaries, and we, of course, held our ground. But Adam went into a fit of rage, as was apparently common among his personality and his kind, and he killed a friend of ours, Lou. No, was Lou or Bob?
Bob.
Fuck.
Lou was his fake name. Bob
Bob
was his
then.
real name.
Bob then. He won't go for the fake names.
Bob.
Bob.
He killed a friend of ours, Bob. With
Bob
uh,
Meister.
so
Not
then
entirely
we
sure.
so then Adam of course got reprimanded for that, by which I mean sentenced to exile from the chantry and his order.
And by exile, I should state that by that we mean the Athanatos wanted to hunt him down.
Well, yes, but that was
Cool.
unrelated to the exile.
Weird
Anyway.
murder religion.
He got sentenced to exile, but of course the former order mates of Bob wanted to exact revenge and vengeance on Adam, so they planned a sort of hunt, I would say, for the, as you quite collegially call it, the most dangerous game.
Colloquially.
Colloquially, yes. Thank you.
Oh.
In any case, I decided to join in on the hunt to maybe diminish the effect on the ones participating, especially Maggie, who I didn't think was in the right state of mind to pursue such an endeavor at the time. Well, long story short, we found Adam being held captive by what we assume were members of the technocracy.
Oh.
Yes, in a in an abandoned warehouse at the edge of town. We, by which I mean me, Dr. Fish there, Maggie,
And Lance.
Lance, right? I forgot, forgot him.
Yeah, he was there.
And Lance,
Not that he
Lance,
did
who
much,
also
but he was
showed up.
there.
and Lance, who was also present at the time,
They're not appearing in this film.
went into the warehouse with Jordan, who was leading this whole expedition. Well, we went inside, and Jordan got. I'm not sure what happened to Jordan, to be perfectly frank.
He was grabbed
He was
and
Sucked
pulled into
in?
another room by something large.
yes, he was essentially
And
apparitioned
that-
away from us. We then got into a fight with 4 armed gunmen. We dispatched them after a
He kind of raises a finger after looking over the two of you, or not a finger. He raises an eyebrow but says nothing.
we dispatched them after a certain amount of blows were exchanged. Then we went to look for Jordan, and sadly, all we could find was a patch of a patch of soot on the ground in an adjacent room. It appeared as though Jordan was more or less evaporated by some powerful force.
Huh. So, did you try to? What did you do after that?
We looked for clues, of course, but I'm afraid to say
Wait.
we couldn't find much.
Wait.
And we called for help.
We
Wait.
What?
So you stopped in the middle of your high octane chase of a criminal to begin pulling out CS Miami bullshit.
Oh no.
CSI Miami bullshit.
Oh no. We didn't spend that much time on it. We looked over the room to see if there was any more danger present, and then we called for help from the chantry.
because it was quite clear we were in way over our head on this.
Exactly. So we called for help from the chantry, which arrived in the form of
Michael.
Michael. Thank you. I forgot that. Which arrived in the form of Michael, who then took over
the head of
leadership.
the local adepts.
Yes, who took over leadership more or less.
Well, there's your first problem. You called a virtual adept. Known for their incredible temerity and mature reactions to high octane situations.
Quite frankly, we were, like my colleague over there said, over our head, and we appreciated any help we could get.
And
So why did you stop chasing the guy you were after?
We did, in fact, not. However, by the time we went back to our hunt, so to speak, our target, specifically named Adam, was already being kidnapped again in a black van, just driving away while our fuel line was cut. Basically, they got away from us, scot-free.
So I would like to remind you, just because it seems you're forgetting, you had decided to spend at least like 5 or 10 minutes performing rituals trying to search the room.
Did we? I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
Yes.
I think we did.
Okay.
It was one of the things that I specifically emphasize is like, this is a thing that's going to take a little while. Are you going to do it? And you did.
All right. I take your word for it. I don't remember it.
It was one of those things that I specifically asked because I was stunned.
I, I don't think I did those rituals.
I mean, I
You
remember
do
one of the
know
things that
what
we.
order you're in, right?
Yeah, but if I remember right, I didn't really have anything to contribute there.
If I remember, one of the things that we took time out of character, but one of the things that we did take time to do that we really, really shouldn't have was Maggie tried to heal me.
Oh
Yes, you also spent a
yeah,
while just sitting around poking at the dead agents and
Yeah.
healing
we
yourselves.
we did.
Yeah,
I don't
if I
think.
remember, that's the
Yeah,
main time thing that we kind of fucked up at.
yeah. I don't think I did anything, but I also didn't say anything. So you know. So yeah, we messed up basically. Anyway,
Yeah,
though in Sawyer's mind, of course, we didn't. Like we did the things we were supposed to do at the time. So yeah, so Adam got away, which I fear is not in his best interest either. He might actually be dead at this point, or if not dead, wishing he was. Oh, also there
Um,
was a and I looked to Dr. Fish at this point. There was a helicopter of some sort, wasn't there?
yes, possibly.
Black
Well,
helicopter you didn't hear until it was directly over you.
Yes,
yes.
yes,
Sleek looking piece.
uh,
Yeah,
I,
that's NWO.
yes. We we were outside the building at this point, and the helicopter landed on the roof, and basically it left before we could do anything about it. It was rather surreal.
Oh yeah, that was NWO. All right, so what happened to the dead agents, the dead gunmen?
They shortly afterwards they evaporated.
Oh, black suits. All right, clones.
Yes, we think so.
Neat. Um,
It's not the word I would use, but all right.
so let's see. Uh, you all kung fu fought a bunch of black suits. Um, at some point, lost a significant amount of time. Um, how much is significant? Not
I
important.
I fear we were too preoccupied with finding out what happened to Jordan and healing our wounds.
Right. This explains a lot more. So, do you realize why you are in trouble?
Well, the
Because
leader of
we did not handle ourselves properly in the field.
yes,
Yes. Do you know what
And
actually went wrong? Because that's about the same as saying that the sky is blue.
well, the leader of a house died while we were there, and we got away scot-free, alive and unharmed, while he died a gruesome death. I would imagine that would put people against us.
Okay, let me break this down. Most of the mages, and really a lot of people involved in this whole shit, have been through a fucking war. This is 20 years ago, where the world nearly fucking ended. I know this is before your time, but this is a thing that happened. I was there for when it happened. People are used to other people dying. Where you dropped the ball was that instead of showing results, you just completely bailed out with nothing to show for it besides a dead dude and worse, a euthanatos in the hands of the technocracy, who's going to get brainwashed and turned into a shock troop on the technocrat side. So basically, what happened is that you abjectly failed. Most people probably don't care that Jordan died, or well, they're not blaming it on you specifically. But you abjectly failed, and then Thanatos are pissed at you, right?
Yes.
Thought so. And also, you let one of their former members fall in the hands of the technocrats.
And understandably so. However, nobody else did anything about the situation to begin with. So even if we hadn't failed, nothing would have changed.
What do you mean?
We were the only ones searching for Adam. If we hadn't done so, Adam would have been kidnapped either way, and the end result would not have been changed. The only thing that would have changed is that Jordan probably wouldn't have died, although I'm not sure about that, because he might have gone after them on his own and still perished. I'm not saying that we didn't, as you said, fucked up, but I'm saying that this was an inevitable conclusion to this whole procedure.
Okay, I'm gonna counter another possibility with one possibility with another possibility. Who do you think actually fucking cares about that level of detail?
Oh, well, no one. I'm just making a point.
So you're wasting air?
He does
does
that a
that.
lot.
I noticed. Okay.
I will sit there looking offended. I went to Harvard, damn it.
We know.
We know. I should just carry a sign with my diploma around.
I went to Harvard.
I went to
I have an
Harvard, damn it.
MBA.
I spent more money on school than you will ever have.
Fuck you.
No, that would be
Okay,
mean.
so
That would be mean. I'm not gonna do that.
basically, you botched a job. Shit went south.
Yes.
Somebody died. All came back down your heads. What other major expeditions have you done for the Chantry?
We
The only ones we have done were the cultist investigation, which ended up in Adam killing Bob and then failing to capture Adam.
which of
Cultist
course
investigation?
we were sent out to look into a series of disappearances of civilians in the woods nearby. Actually, are they nearby?
Yes, they're in the Mount St. Helen region.
Right. In the woods of the Mount St. Helens region, we found a group of cultists who were responsible for it and went to further investigate. Now,
Why were they killing people?
Now, fuck,
Are you getting there?
Why were they killing people? Fuck me.
They were using hedge magic to harvest quintessence from dead creatures.
Right, they were using
Yes.
them like a batteries. Okay.
Yep.
They were harvesting quintessence from their victims as
Wait,
a
what?
sort of battery, I suspect. For what
For the
end
exact
purpose I cannot possibly imagine because we didn't ask them. But we investigated further
wait.
and we decided to confront them.
Wait, hold up. So were they mages?
They were hedge mages, as far as we could ascertain.
Or
Ascertain.
at least one of them was.
That's why I said
Okay.
as far as we could. Anyway, we decided to confront them by force of arms and magic, and we called for reinforcements, which, against my my recommendations, we decided to ignore and just rushed in. That was mainly Nathan's doing, if I remember correct. No, not Nathan. Fuck.
Bob.
Thank you.
No, not Nathan. Lance. Lance's real name is. Actually, was that his real name? Was it his
Leo.
fake name? Leo. Which was mainly Leo's doing. But Anyway, long story short, we went in. We had a lengthy gun battle on the street between two cars, which was quite exhilarating, I might add. We went back to the cave. We got into another battle, um, during which Adam killed Bob in a fit of violent rage, but we defeated the cultists.
You get into a lot of gunfights for a bunch of mages.
We I
Yes, it certainly
I
seems
I
that
I,
way.
I can't exactly dispute that fact. I'm not proud of it, but I can't dispute it. Anyway, we defeated the cultists, but Bob was dead, which led to Adam being exiled and hunted, which led to Jordan being killed, which led to our situation as it is now.
So
The
Okay.
answer is yes, it's a clusterfuck.
now I got
And-
other questions. So you ran into a bunch of cultists who are using hedge magic to harvest quintessence,
Yes,
specifically blood magic.
evidently
Doesn't
so.
make
Yes,
much
I
difference to you,
suppose.
but
Evidently so, yes.
Okay. Shit. Did you ever find out where they learned it?
No,
Did you find out who they were doing it for?
no, our
Uh,
investigation
we-
of this affair was cut short by the demise of our Cabal member, and then the Chantry supposedly took over and sent someone more, well, qualified in to deal with the aftermath of our fight.
Did you find out where the quintessence went?
No. Like I said, our assignment to this got reassigned, as far as I know.
We did find
Oh wait, no,
um
we found out the name.
Hmm?
We
they
had a name of someone.
yes, they appeared to be either led or worshipping a figure referring to himself as the Dark Lord, which that was it, right?
I think so.
It was not. I do
Damn
not
it.
remember what it was. It was the Lord. It was the Lord underneath.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It was the Lord below. No, underneath. No, the Lord in the basement. No,
Yeah.
it was the king in the
Someone-
basement that they worshipped.
A figure that they referred to as the Lord underneath.
Yes, the basement
Oh.
king.
Neat.
The sewer lord.
Okay, my own personal curiosity satisfied now. Basically, the issue you got is that nobody trusts you, and you've been placed under house
Yes.
arrest.
Yes, because everything that we've been sent to do has gone sideways.
Yes, a very astute conclusion.
So, first piece of advice.
Stop fucking up.
No, well,
Stop being
yes,
you.
but first piece of advice to stop fucking up is you guys really got to handle death better. People die. Get over it. I know
I
that's
still
the
miss
last thing you want
Bob.
to hear.
Well, I'm
I
sorry.
know
I
it's
find.
the last thing you want to hear. But it's gonna keep happening.
Well, I'm
Welcome to
sorry. I
being a
find this
wizard.
attitude appalling, both as a doctor and as a person.
You're only saying that because you have
Please.
to.
We know
Yep.
you are barely even a doctor.
What?
I did tell you about the sad.
I'm sorry. Wait a. No, I'm gonna respond to that. Even though it was brilliant, but I'm gonna respond to it. Zack Sawyer will let his piece of cheese fall onto the table and look at Fish.
Oh shit.
Look at
Oh
Fish.
shit.
Look at Fish.
You will-
I
are
beg your pardon.
You are a therapist.
I am a
I'm a
licensed.
doctor.
I am a licensed psychiatrist. I thank you very much. I went to Harvard. Harvard.
We
They don't
know.
have a psychiatry program at Harvard.
Shut up.
Yes, and I am a qualified surgeon.
So
I'm a
great.
cartographer, and I want to go back to being a cartographer. Life was easier back then.
Jason will lean over to Nathan and whisper in his ear. They don't have a psychology program at Harvard.
I
Lean
know.
back.
I know, but I enjoy listening to himself shoot himself in the foot every time he spouted.
They do though, actually.
Yes.
Like they do. They have that. But whatever.
But they do, though. But they
And
do.
I am a
Like they-
licensed. Yeah, and I am a surgeon. Or I should say, by this time I normally would have been a surgeon because I was on residency.
Okay, so Sawyer obviously didn't hear that quip about they have no department of psychology at Harvard, but they do actually have a department of psychiatry at Harvard. Never mind, he didn't hear that. So he goes to. Huh, what? Of course you're a surgeon, but that doesn't diminish me being a doctor. What a ridiculous assumption to make!
I'm not lessening you being a doctor. I am saying that I wouldn't really call what you do being a doctor. Even if you have a PhD.
Sawyer will look like he just got struck. Like he just got hit in the face. Gets slapped in the head. Just, well, what do you suppose psychiatry is good for then?
All you do is tell. You're an overglorified therapist.
You go too far, sir.
Here we go again.
How dare you? In fact, no, he will stand up and just wag his finger at Dr. Fritz. How dare you?
Is this going to turn into a sermon? Because I really, really need some time to prepare if this is going to turn into a sermon.
Yes, and I would. Well. Our personal disagreements over what is and isn't considered practicing medicine aside.
You know, this is so unfair because there's no way I can say, well, surgery is not a field of medicine anyway. Like, I'm at a complete loss here, okay? I'm attacking you from
Yes.
downhill, you piece of shit. You asshole.
Brutality.
Yeah, I'm not wrong here.
You
I'm not right, but I'm not wrong.
goddamn dick fag. Okay.
He's not right, but he's not wrong.
Well, there's no way I cannot counter his false arguments with my own false arguments here. It doesn't work. It just wouldn't.
Yeah,
Just falls
sucks,
apart.
doesn't it?
It does. It does. Yes, it does suck.
The sass.
It's like I'm a chemist and he's like a rocket scientist. And I go, well, it's not exactly rocket science. Oh well, like I'm like I can't compete here. Like at all.
But our squabbles, our professional squabbles and disagreements aside, Yes, it does seem as though we need to fix our reputation.
Well, yes, of course we need to deal with the loss of friends in a more constructive way, as I learned in my studies of psychiatry at Harvard. But sorry.
This is
Of course
this,
you did, sir. Of course
This
you
is all
did.
just this is all just leading up to us finding out that he was a dropout.
But no, he is
Oh,
not a
totally.
dropout. He's an actual psychiatrist. God damn it.
Oh no, he's totally a dropout. No one brags that much about having a degree unless it's something that they almost had but didn't get.
He's just that much in love with the sound of his own voice. That's why he can't deal with fish. Like,
Just
just
get a
can't
room and
deal.
kiss already.
oh god, no. Oh no, that would open up all kinds of issues in terms of like edible complexes and stuff. No, let's not do that.
About what now?
Edible complexes. That's just stuff.
Oh.
Weird sexual stuff. We don't want to get into that. That's no.
And it's a lot of that, which is why
next
Fish thinks that you're a quack.
next the next night sir will just wake up in the middle of the night with dreams of like I don't know having had sex with Dr. Fish in a seedy motel room or some shit.
Can't say 3 words without getting his dick tangled up in Dr. Fish's hairdo.
Oh my, Dr. Fish, I say, does the carpet match the drapes? Is it as lush downstairs as it is in the canopy?
Oh my
But
god.
ask.
Uh,
So, anyways,
God damn it. Anyway, yes, anyway. Apropos of nothing. Apropos of nothing, Jason, how's your sex life?
Oh my god. Don't
anyway.
No,
start
no,
that.
no, that was not in character. Let's not do that. Let's not go into that.
So my point is that what you fuckers need is some kind of win, or enough support from from a few key individuals to act as your witnesses of character.
Well, I would assume so, but what could we possibly do now that we're under de facto curfew?
So how does it work? Like, what are the rules that are being applied to keep you guys cooped up?
We are ostensibly allowed to leave the chantry as long as we tell them where we go and how long we are away. We have to
and we
get
are
a stupid
undoubtedly
stamp on our wrist, and I show my wrist like a child at a playground.
Hold on, I need to roll some dice. I
and
do
we
a GM
are.
roll.
Okay.
Jason needs to roll willpower in order to not bust out laughing.
And,
You know what? That's fair. That's totally
It
fair.
is.
and we are undoubtedly under more surveillance than we normally would be.
Yes, I would bet my car on the fact that we are being scried on at basically any time.
Jason looks around. I'll take your car keys.
What do you mean?
Who's he talking to?
He looks at Zachary. After looking around, I'll have your car keys now.
Are you saying you can detect if we're being scried on or not?
Well, it's either that or he does parking validation, and I don't think that's very, you know.
Look, I know you're a big and high and mighty mage, but I did actually make it to Zelator. People always forget that.
Who is he?
Spend-
Who is he shouting at again?
He's not shouting.
Probably like
he's
at
just
us in
fucking
general.
ranting. Fucking spent 15 years learning this shit.
I think he's just
No, it
shouting at
gotta
us
be a
in general.
fancy fucking mage. Anyways, fucking jokes aside, nobody's watching.
Really? I am.
Well, I'm
Yes.
actually somewhat surprised about that.
Yes, me
Um,
too.
Not without trying, of course, but you know,
Hmm.
I have a few of my own tricks.
Ah. Do
Hmm.
you know who is trying to watch us?
Fuck no.
Any educated guesses?
Well, whatever. Okay, so
I don't know. Tewksbury?
let's run down the list. Any cabals you might have pissed off by accident? Anybody who's interested in your own going-ons? Anybody who's wondering why you got picked over them for being Tewksbury's next assistant?
So
Why people are interested in? Are people interested in keeping an eye on the special project cabal?
So,
People looking for a bit of weakness. Fuck, I don't know, vampires or
I
some
I
shit.
I look at Artie. I look at Dr. Fish and just well, not Tewksbury then. He is.
Somebody that works for Tewksbury because Tewksbury himself is busy doing stuff.
Yes, he is.
Which
he-
would sound like Tewksbury a lot, actually.
No. I look at Fish and just he delegates a lot. All of it.
It could be any number of things. The point is that you should always assume that somebody's watching unless you're in your sanctum. This is not a sanctum.
Fair point being made.
So I'll take your car now.
It's fair point well made.
You did make the bet.
Yes, I did.
Jason,
Sawyer
Jason
takes out.
actually looks kind of surprised.
Sawyer
when
takes
people
out a.
take him seriously.
Sawyer takes out a check. And would you take a check for the value of the car instead?
What? No, I was fucking joking. Anyways,
Let's see.
He
Yeah,
doesn't do
fucking
those
Stage will
Weirdo.
actually chuckle a little bit.
No, actually, no. Sawyer will say, I see, and then put write 5,000 on a check and hand it to Jason.
Oh shit, he's actually is doing it.
I am. Look, he just. I'm not a man of. I am a man of my word.
sir,
Oh shit, he's actually doing it.
what the fuck is wrong with you?
He was raised with.
I have too much money and too little self-respect.
Okay, you must be the millionaire. Okay, this makes a whole lot more sense.
That's him.
Oh, so you've been told about his ascent.
I'm just oh, so you've heard about me. In this kind of with this kind of smile that surely it was all good. Anyway, yeah, he just hands you a check of $5,000.
Jason sees the smirk, the fucking shit-eating grin when he
It's not actually a
mentioned
smirk. No, he
the family
actually
name.
okay. Sawyer is not smirking. He's like totally serious about it. He made a bet. You didn't want the car, but fuck it. Here, take $5,000 instead.
I'm not taking your money.
Well, I'm not taking it back.
What are you, 12? Just fucking back to the
Sometimes.
topic.
Sometimes he might as well be.
Anyways, so you guys need to do two things. First, you need a win. Or really you need a reputation boost, which can happen a number of ways. And you guys really need to start working on getting a sanctum outside of the Chantry. Because while the Chantry's a nice place to go, it's not really some place you should shack up in. Long term, at least.
Yes, I see your point. How about
You can hold that check in my face as long as you want. I'm not taking it.
I already gave it to him.
He never took it.
It was set down in front of him.
I just put it on the coffee table, and I immediately
Wait,
forget about it.
is that one warehouse that I have? Would that be a sanctum?
You have no idea.
I do have an apartment in the town that we could use. Although I suspect a warehouse might be more accommodating for more people.
It depends on where you guys want to go. You should
Oh,
probably.
I am not saying that shit out loud.
Oh,
No.
okay. So in that case, I don't either.
You'll want to find some kind of node. It doesn't have to be a big one, but typically it's the easiest because you'll have access to quintessence to build
What
the
do
sanctum.
okay, what do we need to find a node?
Generally a decent understanding of prime, maybe a bit of correspondence. Otherwise just
I'm out then.
look for areas that are likely to have that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of out then because I don't have well, I have prime
could
I
use
and
either or.
correspondence,
suppose
but
I
only
could
one.
find one.
Okay, Buddo. Friendalino.
Yeah.
How much do you know about nodes?
Like in
Out
character.
of character, I don't. In character, I would probably at least know something.
Okay, so nodes are well springs of magic. It's where quintessence flows out
Well, yeah.
of.
I understand that much, at least.
They're the bigger the node, the more the peoples wants them, and also mages frequently clash with werewolves over fucking nodes. So getting a new node can be a little dangerous. As long as
I
you
have
get
a
a big one.
node.
You have a node. Do you have sanctum on it?
I do.
You were smart, unlike Zephy.
Well, so here's the problem. Here's the thing, though. Will Nathan offer that node and sanctum to us, or
He
not?
does
Actually,
not
he's-
have to.
For a moment, he's kind of just sitting there, feeling drunk and looking at this unfold. And if no one comes up with a reasonable way or anything,
Oh, okay,
he's
okay.
gonna offer it.
Apropos nothing. There's a check for $5,000 on your coffee table right now. Just saying.
Well, Nathan isn't greedy.
Well, it's not about greed. It's just about taking free money.
Nathan ain't your node whore.
He could be. He could be. Think about it. It's money. It's free money. It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. Anyway,
Anyway, Sawyer will take his check back and make efforts to like rip it in half really slowly, unless someone wants it.
Nathan kind of looks a little bit like something inside of him is breaking a little.
I'm doing. If you want it, just say something and you have it.
Nathan ain't no hoe.
But there's like a silent tear running down his cheek as the check gets ripped in half.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, Sawyer will rip the check in half and just stash the two halves away. Disappointed, but
Disappointed.
disappointed, but he can't help it if people don't want his money. Oh well. Well, I wouldn't know about anything about procuring a note or securing it or putting a sanctum on it because I am. I didn't think it was necessary to have it. However, maybe one of the others have that kind of knowledge ready. Just point at Fisher Nathan.
All right, so really the best way to look for a node would be just a decent amount of pounding feet on the concrete and looking around. Places with historical relevance, emotional attachments, a lot of things really can end up being the location of a node. Although you need to be careful because something might already be living there.
Well, we could do that. We have time to do it, and really nothing else to do. I think, at least
And
I
the
don't.
last thing that you want to do is tango with a werewolf.
I do own a
So
node
we've been told.
myself.
Also, here's the thing. I just imagine while Nathan says, "I do own a node," everyone else just talking over each other.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I suppose we could. Why wouldn't we tangle with the werewolves? Maybe we could lead. We could gain an understanding with the werewolves, a diplomatic sort of thing going on. We take one of the notes.
Sanctum
Do
on
you
it.
sincerely believe that?
It's really nice and secure.
Well, I mean, it would be worth a try if we have nothing else who could provide a node and a sanctum for us. I mean, it's rather a delicate procedure, as
I
I
kind of use
understand
it
it.
as an extended library. You know,
And but please,
where I can't
Nathan,
keep all my
Nathan,
other
we're
books.
we're talking amongst each other here. What do you want? I'm sorry.
No, that was
I
all
do have a
in
taser in the
character.
car. If
I'm
you
sorry.
decide.
Yeah, I know. I'm still sorry.
I do have a taser in my jacket if you desire, sir.
Jeez.
Ah, thank you. It's becoming more and more tempting, but I'm a bit too drunk to make any mm, to make any important decisions right now. Namely, who to tase first.
So are you just blurt out that you have a node?
I mean, I didn't blurt it. I said it. I slurred it drunkenly. There's a difference.
And
No,
people were talking over Nathan.
yeah, that's
Yep.
the
What
thing.
happens?
I'm just
So
okay. I kind of want you to blurt it out, to be honest. This is like totally self-serving here.
as another note, if you were all verbena types or dream speakers, I could see you managing to talk it out with a werewolf. But from my experience, they don't really like hermetics or etherites. Surprise, surprise.
Big surprise there.
I wonder why so many people don't like hermetics. He looks directly at Zachary.
It's almost like we're all a bunch of idiot assholes or something. So does Nathan.
And that is a reputation they haven't, or that isn't entirely unearned on their part.
Everyone just staring at
And
me.
I will also stare at him.
Okay. Okay. The Sawyer is not completely oblivious to the world outside of him, okay? Just mainly.
Amazingly.
Just like 90%. But there's 10% left. He just looks at everyone and stops talking, goes, well,
I have this strange feeling that you're singling me out, but
Well-
I don't know why.
presumably some of us are very much in love with the sound of their own voice, but that shouldn't be taken into consideration for the grand total of the Order of Hermetics. I'm sorry. Nathan, what were
Anyway.
you talking about?
I have a node.
You may have wanted to mention
Oh,
this earlier.
wonderful.
Honestly, I was just enjoying watching you all squirm. I'm too drunk to be sympathetic.
I just immediately want to go back and blame you, to be honest. Well, you may have mentioned this earlier.
I may.
Well,
But if
where
I
is-
did, you were talking a little too loudly. To
No,
hear
no.
me.
Sawyer will say, well, I'm sorry. It will take a bit to come down from this particular horse I rode in on. However, where is your note?
Shit, I actually forgot. Let me just check.
You should also note that if you want to establish your own little personal hideaway, you'll want to work on being able to leave the chantry with a little less oversight.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Obviously. I'm pretty sure. Fuck. I mean, Can we?
Where is your sanctum?
Shit, where? I don't know. I thought we wrote it down on the map, but no, it's only Leo's.
I mean, pick
Oh well.
something. How about boring?
Nah,
The Happy
Nathan's
Valley.
sanctum. Nathan's sanctum is an old disused honestly I want to say it's
What?
an old disused adult
Library?
entertainment rental service.
Let's go with it.
Oh.
Let's go with it. That's perfect. I can do
What,
a
like a
lot of
porn
that
store
in
or
character.
bordello?
Porn store.
I can
Uh.
I can do a ton of that with like in character. I would love it.
Yes.
Where would it be though?
Somewhere
Downtown
pretty
Portland.
exactly. Downtown Portland, somewhere in the quieter areas. Nathan likes quiet areas.
I don't know. Happy Valley?
Wonderful name. Where is it?
It's like right there. Next to
Yeah.
Sunnyside.
Sunnyside is not very sunny.
It's very much in the south.
And I assume that Happy Valley isn't very happy.
Probably not.
It's very fitting though, an old misused porn store in Happy Valley.
Yeah, it's all projects and like one sex shop.
Yep. The building is supposed to be condemned, however,
Of
it
course
seems
is.
like the government just doesn't really have the money to tear it down or
Oh
reuse
my
it.
God.
This is a fancy way of saying nobody really gives a shit.
Yeah, perfect.
I find it a wonderfully anonymous place to go.
Sawyer will look at Nathan. And go, how exactly did you find this establishment?
I searched for a node.
I see. I don't believe a word of that.
How else would you find a node?
I think he just looked for like seedy sex stores and happened to come across a node.
Well, you believe what you want to believe,
I shall.
and I'll be over here in my node with sanctuary.
Sanctum.
With sanctum, sorry.
Neat. So, anyways, well, that's neat and all. I would have dropped a plot hook for Lance if he was here.
But he isn't.
But he isn't.
What a fucking dick.
Yeah?
Didn't even tell us anything or anything.
So, we all just.
Yeah, he kind of just disappeared.
Here's the thing. We all just moving into the abandoned sex shop because there's a node in the sector?
You probably shouldn't yet, otherwise somebody may follow you there.
Yeah. Can we move a node?
I would assume
Not
not.
without a lot of prime.
Ooh, I don't have that.
I have some primed, but not a lot.
Unless you were a member of the syndicate with primal utility.
No, we're not.
Man, primal utility is the tits.
Well, we don't have it.
Oh my god.
Look
How
at
would
her
I
butt.
prove? How would I prove my professional history to Dr. Fish? Would I actually care to do that? That's the question.
I don't know.
Could I just roll out my diploma and slap him across the face with it?
Yeah, and he's gonna call it a bullshit diploma. That's not worth the paper it's printed on.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, obviously.
How dare you, sir? Pistols at dawn at 10 steps.
Yeah, and after you're shot, what are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Or what are you going to do?
I mean, okay.
Talk to someone about how
Here's
their
the
bullet
thing.
wound isn't as bad as they think it is?
Here's the thing. Let's face it. Us two pistols at dawn, we would just like I don't know, hit our witnesses or some bullshit.
Exactly.
We
It'll
would
be like
kill
that
our.
one adorable little animation.
We would kill everyone but ourselves.
I have Dotson firearm.
Me
What are you
too.
talking about?
Me too. That doesn't matter.
What are you gonna do after you get shot? Talk the bullet out of you?
Maybe prescribe yourself prescribe yourself an antidepressant.
My good
So
sir,
at least you're happy about
I
it.
will have you committed to. I will have you committed.
Commit the bullets to an insane asylum.
No, I will have Dr. Fish committed.
Oh, trust me, better men have tried.
How dare you! I can't win with
Legit.
this guy. He's a surgeon. I mean, he's
Yeah,
a
man.
crook and like an animal and like an insane person, but he's still a surgeon.
Oh, and by the
Uh,
way, Fish totally would not be lying if he actually said that.
Well, yeah, I know that. Oh, psychiatry is all a big scam to me. Let me operate this bullet out of a victim of shooting. Ooh.
Yeah, because that's like half the reason why you views it as bullshit. Or why you view psychology as bullshit.
Yeah, I know, and I can't possibly win. I can't win that one. There's no way. Anyway, so we doing anything else today?
Unfortunately, the main plot hook I had for the next part was supposed to happen about an hour or two in when Zeffy was here.
Well, you could do it with us.
I assume it's about getting his note back.
No, but Michael was supposed to be the jump off point, and he's not going to talk to you fucks.
Oh, why
Oh,
not?
darn.
Why not though?
You literally got your gift basket back on fire.
Well, how is that my fault?
I mean, he probably doesn't hate me as much as he hates you.
I don't
He
even
probably
know
doesn't
why
he
you
really
probably
feel
doesn't
anything
like
about
me.
me.
Why would he even hate me? I barely had contact with the man. All I did was send him a gift basket.
Listen. The main point of contact you had with him was when his buddy got murdered.
I get that, but that's why I send him a gift basket with my condolences. I'm trying to be nice.
You're also a hermetic.
Oh, come on. I can still be nice to him. He doesn't have to be that racist.
Racist.
Orderist? I don't know.
Racist.
Ah, works for me.
As a white straight male, I am clearly the
Look,
most
I'm gonna
discriminated
call it
group
here.
in the United States.
I'm going to call it here.
Okay.
Everybody gets 3 XP.
Okay.
Yay!
I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop recording. Say bye.
Bye.
See
Fuck
ya.
off.